Hello! Welcome everybody to episode 2 of Reign of Olympus. As you can see, we all have our own cams now, which is good. Although I think Dan's missing Jim a little bit and the closeness, which is a shame. Welcome to episode 2. Thank you to everybody that tuned in to the first episode, everybody that tuned in to Match of the Deity yesterday, everybody that's donated, subbed, everything else. We really appreciate it, so thank you. On that, if you do have Amazon Prime, don't forget you can link that to your Twitch account, and you can get a free Twitch sub a month, which we would be very grateful for. So, I'm not telling it for information's sake, it's a shameless plug. Please subscribe if you can.
Also, as a completely separate note, how Twitch works, you can gift subs to people, so you might as well do that as well.
Yeah, you know, if you're feeling generous and you've already subbed, feel free to gift a sub to another person. All the dollar, yo. Right, so before we get started, just a thank you for everybody that did donate to Calm as well. They're a great charity. They do a lot of work for mental health, primarily preventing suicide in men under 45, which is the biggest killer in men of that age, is suicide. And so thanks to everybody who raised around £50, so thank you very much. If you do want to donate and keep donating, go to thecalmzone.net. Where you can just donate from there anytime you want, and every pound helps. Just before we start again, I just wanted to announce another shameless plug that the Patreon for Reign of Olympus is now live as well. So you can go to patreon.com/Reign of Olympus, and it's got a few tiers on there. Tier 1 is what the gods are doing. You get a report each month that keeps you in the loop about what they've been doing whilst our players have been doing their thing. Tier 2, you get these episodes on podcast, as you can put podcasts on Patreon, which is amazing. And Tier 3, we've got all sorts of good stuff. So we will have an adventure guide for each arc. Hephaestus yesterday very kindly offered to make a magical item designed by him for anybody that subs to that tier. We've got some other cool stuff coming up that Aphrodite is currently working on, which I won't give too much about. And Zeus as well has been writing some stuff for us, so there's lots more stuff coming on that Patreon soon, so keep an eye out. And there's also a little donate there as well, if you wanted to. Okay, we're about to go to the recap and then the game, so unless anybody else has anything they want to say before we move on? No?
Just a big thank you to everyone, really.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
I second that motion.
Right. And, right, we'll roll the intro and then let's begin. And welcome back. So, previously on Reign of Olympus, before I say what happened, do you guys want to have a little recap to jog your own memories? What happened on session 1?
Well, I picked somebody up.
You did?
You picked 2 people up.
That is true.
You put me on a desk.
I'm a pickup artist, okay?
Hey,
Fine. So we were all doing our own thing in... Oh, God, what's it called? Thebes, thank you. I'm tired. We're all doing our own thing, and Thebes. Runt, I think, was coming into the city. Gavril and I and Mercy were already in the city doing something. And then the big celebration happened, and Dionysus himself was there. And then, well, shit hit the proverbial, if someone wants to pick it up from that point.
Yeah, we killed some things that were already dead, so that was about the extent of it.
Yeah.
I tried to run away from dead things.
Yep, you guys dispatched the undead quite well, with minimal casualties. Some close calls, but you got past it.
We're not looking at anyone in particular here, Gav.
It's not a casualty if you walk on it.
Don't we?
Were you walking or were you crawling?
He's on this side.
It's just a flesh wound.
Okay, so yeah, after that we had a bit of a break, and then we came back, and I think Dionysus had some stern words for you all, didn't he?
Yeah, he could have been a bit more grateful, really.
Did you just say grateful?
Yeah.
Fair.
Oh, thanks a bunch.
Oh god. All right. I'm gonna stop this before it continues. So yeah. So the party were given the task. They were voluntold that they were going to find out why these undead were here, where they came from, and sort things out because Ares and his troops were on the way, or Ares' troops, sorry, were on the way, and he wanted things cleared up before then. So you guys went on your merry way. You then decided to split the party, I believe, after investigating and.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gav
so
and I
we-
went to check out the local House of the Dead, which was okay. We got some clues, but ultimately a dead end. But it was a good dead end to find because it meant we didn't have to do anything drastic.
Yeah.
Dead plants.
Alma and Runt came up with some very good.
Yeah, you guys went to the
Ken's
local.
really quiet, by the way.
Yeah, Ken's
Yeah, Quen is Quen.
Quen?
Let's go Quen.
You know, you have to just do
Quen.
like-
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino?
So Mercy and Gavril went to the House of Dead. Me, Alma, and Runt went to the. Well, we spoke to the Dragonborn that we'd seen earlier that day, and he pointed us in the direction of the rent-a-slave
It was
people.
very nice.
Not called rent a slave, but yes, pretty much that.
Hire a servant.
It was Safile's servant services.
Yeah.
Don't forget, I
That.
made a child take a 2-mile hike to go get a ruined toga.
Oh yeah, that was
Because
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a
I went to go
responsible
get a
adult.
uniform. Responsible. Which led us to kind of finding the bathhouse, which I think is where we're heading now.
Yeah, I think you all met up, and last we left off, you'd kind of pooled your information and decided that bathhouse was the next logical step. So that's where we're going to pick up. Before you,
Minotaur and Asamir and 2 humans, one being a child, heading to the bathhouse. This is
It
great.
sounds like a terrible setup for a joke.
well, it's a bathhouse, not a bathhouse, as you discovered, so you should be fine. But before.
Doesn't mean the adults aren't going to leave me outside, but we will see.
Well, it's up to you. Is there anything you guys want to do? Do you want to head straight to the bathhouse? Do you want to? How are you going forward?
Well-
Since we are now in game.
Well, as myself and Gavril are waiting for Runt and Alma to come back, I just wanted to just have a quick word with him.
Mhm.
Now, I'm terrible with new faces and names, so you have to forgive me. Gaviscon? No.
Gavriel.
No. That's the one. It'll take me a while to figure out.
That's okay. Not everyone
Now.
can be mine.
It's kind of weird and distracting, and people in general just. No. While we were busy with the fighting and stuff, and unfortunately you went down. As much as I wanted to help you back to your feet, I was kind of stuck with an undead thing in my face. Luckily,
Oh, I assumed you did help.
sorry,
Who helped pick me up then?
the little one did.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't realise. I'll have to thank her.
There is one thing though. Why did she call you a weirdo?
She had some altercation earlier in the day before the festival. I was investigating some suspicious characters by the dock, and she had her dog running wild about in the water. It was a little unusual. Not often you see children playing around at the docks without realising they're orphans.
Oh, and you thought she was somehow suspicious?
To have a small child in a busy dock area with a dog who clearly wasn't an orphan or a homeless person. It's a little weird, especially in Dionysus' city.
But at the end of the day, though, you do have to realise that she might just be travelling like anybody else. I mean, you obviously travelled. I travelled. The big man travelled.
But
But
that I'm here on an investigation.
ooh, well,
that's
aren't you special?
People who are suspicious is what I'm here for. I haven't questioned why you're in thieves or what you're doing.
Oh no! That's not what I was getting at. Dick. No, I was just merely hinting that, it's particularly where small children are involved. Kids' gloves and all that, could be a bit weird in some people's eyes. Just got to be careful. I mean, no wonder she called you weird.
Criminals are involved in anything unsavory.
But a 13-year-old child with a dog.
Why are we talking about me?
You're not there.
Oh, look, you're here. Oh, hello.
Oh, now you're here. Apparently we're still having issues with your...
I'm just going to run up because I'm annoying. But, yeah. Why are we talking about me?
Oh, no particular reason, dear.
A throwaway comment you made after picking me up from my injuries. Thank you for that. I wasn't aware you actually provided me with healing.
You're welcome, weirdo.
Commented that I was strained because we had an altercation earlier in the day.
Yeah.
Apparently Mercy is disturbed by this.
He's fine.
Still don't have
We'll
any
be
issues with
fine.
what happened
We'll be fine.
today. Very well.
On a side technical note, Ken is still dead quiet.
Yeah, apparently there's quite an echo, but we will work on that as we go ahead. In the meantime,
Sure
you
thing.
just have to stare at his beautiful face.
I would just have to cover my face vein style.
That
There we
actually-
go.
actually works.
Do it. Why not?
Only when you're speaking.
Of course it works. Anything that hides my face.
Luke, I am your father.
Oh,
It's like
jeez.
anime. You look like one of the Japanese schoolgirls when they laugh in anime.
Oh,
Alright, anyway.
Kawaii face.
oh, jeez.
You're welcome for the save. Man in armor whose name I can't remember. Gavril? Gavril!
That one.
I'm honestly
You're
not
welcome.
able to help from such a distance. I mean, given that you were,
Is there
Look,
anything else doing?
I might be small, but I have skills.
Investigations?
Yes, we should do that.
I heard none of that.
Basically, is there anything else you guys should be doing, or are you going to go straight to continue the investigation?
Oh, I'm assuming the
let's
tiny...
be on this bitch.
I think we should probably get this
So,
done.
assuming the tiny conversation we had at the end of the last episode, which was basically like, we found the scent, we found a bathhouse, let's go, is now done.
Yeah, that's...
Because we did already have that.
Yeah, you
Pretty much.
already... Well, I'm not going to make you share information again, that'd be silly. So, yeah. So,
Yeah, cool.
in that case, you know where it is, you did get directions.
Yes, we
how
did.
are you approaching this?
Through the front door, preferably by kicking us in first.
'Cause that worked so well
No
the
more
first
kicking
time.
in doors.
Okay, in that case, as you all follow the directions given by Tadakai, I believe it was, or the priestess.
No, it was the guy in the slave.
Oh, of course
Place.
it was, yes. But as you follow those instructions and you make your way down the various streets, it doesn't take you long, and you see the front of the bathhouse. There's nothing, different about it. There's nothing that stands out about it. Thebes is famed for having numerous bathhouses like this. It's a tourist city. It's a city of leisure, so these things are, basically on every other road. The only reason you know what it is because it has a symbol above it, which is the old Grecian symbol for water, which is kind of the standard sign for any bathhouse. There's nothing untoward looking at it. It just looks like a standard building. So, how are you approaching? Are you just walking up? Are you being sneaky? Are you charging like a murder hobo?
I'm the
I
7
think-
foot tall Minotaur.
I
I'm not
think
entirely
we
sure
should just
sneaky
approach
is in
it
my
like
nature.
potential customers.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Can we give the dog a wash? It's starting to smell.
you leave my dog alone.
I don't think they can hear you at all now.
Also, I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to take domestic animals into a bathhouse.
I like this place. Let's stay here for the entire campaign.
Okay, so as you make your way towards it, You walk up to the door, and it's a big double wooden door, big round metal handles, and probably brass or something similar. The doors are closed.
Is it not open?
Anyone thought of knocking?
Let's try knocking.
Yeah.
Okay, Gavriel, you knock. You wait 30 seconds or so. No answer. No noises behind the door. Nothing like that.
Right, I try and just whack on the door
Run.
hard.
Please be restrained. Please.
Okay, so you knock harder. Again, you wait a little while. Nothing.
The door handle.
Run. Please don't break any more doors.
You try the handle. It's not moving. It's locked.
Maybe there's another way in that isn't a door.
She's right there! How can I not?
Smashing restraint.
Maybe it's worth having a walk around the building?
Yes.
Right, you go.
Fine.
Why don't you come with us and we can go around both directions?
Almost like you don't trust me.
It's exactly.
I could wait by the door and see if anyone else comes out.
No, to be fair, he doesn't just trust you to just smash the door in with your face and walk in.
I pick Gavril up and use him as a battering ram.
I take it you're not doing that.
No, for the love of God,
No.
I just have to double check with you guys.
Okay, so what
That's
we
plan B.
Yeah, what is plan A?
two people going one way and two people going the other, or what?
Right, I'll take the goth chick. We'll go east. You guys go west, and we'll meet round the back.
Okay, Gabriel, are you going to try and find some locals, or are you doing the... and then a couple of you are doing the perimeter? By the way, I think those of you without headphones in, you might have to try and find some headphones at some point. There's a bit of echo, apparently. So if that's the case, Alma, who are you going with? Because I think Mercy's going around one way and we've got Runt going around the other. Which one are you going with? Gavril is also going to talk to some locals. You could always go with him because I know you're friends. Alma? I think so.
What am I doing?
What are you doing?
You said headphones and I got distracted.
Yeah, who are you going with? We've got a Runt going around one way, we've got a Mercy going around the other, and we've got a Gavriel going to speak to some locals.
Apparently I'm going with Gavril, because apparently that's how the group has been divided up.
Okay.
I like this plan.
Okay, we will start with you two then, since the both of you. So, you look around, you see a few people walking here and there. Do you just grab someone at random? Are you looking for anyone in particular?
We look for local businesses that might be open in the area, or anyone who looks like they are normally here, as opposed to people who look like they're out of town as passing through.
Okay, it's getting quite late now. The sun's pretty much just starting to set. So while it's not dying down in terms of busyness, because it's Thebes and there's a festival on, the stalls are starting to close down whilst they set up for more festivities and things like that. But you do see there is one elven woman that seems to be packing down a stall with what looks like handmade jewellery or something like that. She seems to be packing away. If you want to go and speak to her.
Alma, do you want to take the lead on this, or...?
Oh, we lost Alma, so she probably doesn't want to take the lead on this.
Take the lead, I'll take the lead. Oh, sorry, do you work in the area? Do you know about this bathhouse behind me?
Oh, hello, yes, it's a bathhouse. What do you want to know? Sorry.
Sorry, they seem to be closed, but I was trying to talk to the people who are in charge.
Oh, yes, it's been closed for a couple of days now. I haven't really noticed, to be honest. But yes, there's been no one coming in and out for a couple of days.
nothing untoward's happened in the area. They're just shut for the festival.
Yes, but I suppose that in itself is odd. I mean, festivals like this are peak time for bathhouses and leisure houses, I guess. I don't know, maybe they're not there, maybe they wanted to join in the festival. Sorry, I mainly just work the stalls.
Okay. Well, if you don't know who the owners are, I think we might take our leave, but we're just checking in on them at the moment. We're a little concerned.
Oh, okay, well, do you think this could be something wrong?
Well, like you say, their bathhouse is closed for the days of the festival. People are concerned, so just checking in.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope nothing's wrong. Good luck with your investigation. I suppose. What was your name?
My name is Gabriel.
And is this your daughter?
This is my ward.
Oh, well, it's nice to meet you too, little one. If you come back tomorrow, I'm closed up now, but if you wanted to buy any jewelry or anything, then you're more than welcome to come back tomorrow. I'm Kelsey. I'll be in the same place.
Thank you very much.
And thank you. And she rushes off. She seemed quite eager to pack up and get home, but was accommodating. So, Runt, as you are, I just need to check how are you going about doing the perimeter check? Are you just walking around to see if you can see anything? Are you looking for like entrances, people?
I'll take a nice sort of leisurely stroll around the perimeter, see if I can see anyone out of place, or if there's like any broken windows or doorways that could provide a form of ingress, maybe.
Well, as a point of note, there's not much glass, being ancient Greece. So nothing in terms of like broken windows. You don't see any open windows either. Like they do tend to have open windows. Sometimes for security they're higher up, but they're generally to let light in and things like that. You do see some higher up like openings, but they seem to be closed with like wooden shutters or barred maybe. It seems to be closed. There's no one as you walk around. It's kind of down the back.
Laptop.
Nope. It's kind of around the back, and there's not many like shops or houses or anything back there. They tend to like to be at the forefront of the streets. Thebes is about being noticed, so there's not much behind there. You see a few crates and things by the side of the building. A few barrels. It starts.
Are any of these crates open?
No, they all seem to be closed. You can go and have a closer look if you'd like. Or...
Yeah, I'll go do that. I've got nothing better to do.
Okay.
There's a party relying on me or anything.
Well, you go and open one of the crates, and it looks just like a bunch of linens and cloths and things like that.
Fair enough. Right, I continue round the perimeter.
Okay. Mercy, do we have you on audio okay at the moment?
Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you just great.
Lovely.
Brilliant.
Yeah, similar sort of vein to Runt. Roughly how big is the premises, roughly, as a square or?
It's more of a kind of a rectangle from what you can tell, like a long rectangle. It doesn't seem too big, but it's big enough to house maybe two rooms, two big rooms.
Okay.
I think I have kind of a shape for you without giving too much away.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
What I would like is to get roughly halfway down the side, and then I want to use my eyes of the grave.
Okay. You don't detect anything undead or anything like that? No.
Right.
Make an...
So there's no one dead in. So there's no one dead within 60 feet of where I am right now.
Not that you can tell. Make an intelligence check for me.
Okay.
First roll of the evening.
Jeez, that was loud.
It was. Eager.
Oh, that's a 5.
Starting off strong. No. Yeah, you don't detect any undead within 60 feet.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Why do I have to be the one causing issues?
It's fine. Everyone has a turn.
I wonder why.
Yeah, it was Jim earlier, so it's only fair. Hey, she's back.
I've only kind of bloody fixed it.
Yay.
Right.
Yeah. So as you walk around, are you looking for anything in particular, or did you just want to kind of use your divine senses to see if you could detect anything?
Who, me still, or?
Yes.
Well, I said that was my essential divine sense. I'm just looking again, based on what we saw and what I did picked up at the scene of the crime, as it were.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for anything that has that same sort of like signature.
Yeah. You don't see anything. Again, you don't see because you've gone down the other side, so there's not even any crates or anything there. There's nothing.
Okay.
There is as you walk around, there is a back door, just like a smaller door with it's a simple wooden door. It's not a grand entrance like, it's probably the servant's entrance or something like that, but that as well
I
is
will casually check it then.
Okay, that is also locked.
Okay. Is there any sort of like nearby trees or climbable vines sort of thing around the area?
No, it's quite urban in this area. Like lots of mosaic and stone floors, lots of building upon building and things like that, and columns where there's canopies and stuff to keep people out of the heavy midday sun and stuff. It's only when you get further out to the outskirts of Thebes where you start to see nature kind of intertwine with that. So yeah, there's nothing.
Okie dokie. I'll just make a note of where the door is, and I'll just head back and see what's going on.
Okay. So brevity's sake, probably not all at the same time, but you meet again at the front entrance of the bathhouse. Feel free to discuss.
I haven't got a clue what any of you saw because I have no idea what happened. I missed all of it.
To a local,
Well, you don't trust a child.
And they seem to indicate that the bathhouse has been closed for the last 3 days or so, which is obviously unusual around the festival. So,
but that does explain, because the bodies have been, the people were technically dead for 3 or 4 days too.
Also, the 3 guys that were from the slave hire place haven't been themselves for a couple of days, and they worked there 3 days ago.
Yeah, I think we might have to force our way onto the property.
Well, there is a smaller door around the back, and if we want to like make a less conspicuous opening.
Did somebody say they needed a door breaking in?
No. I did not say that.
You need to gain access to the property. Let's go around the back and be discreet, as Mercy has said. That sounds much better than bashing the front doors in on the middle of the street.
If you want to be boring, fine.
Go around the back and be discreet. Do you know the word phrasing at all?
I was holding back. I was trying to be a fair DM and not. Right, so as you go around, the door is locked, but you can do what I believe you'll inevitably try and do.
Does anybody have anything sharp and pointy so we can pick
I have
the
the
lock?
dagger. I have the dagger that I took off the guard. We killed.
I also have a dagger.
Dagger.
Lance, probably not appropriate.
What?
He has a really big shaft.
I have a lance. That's probably not what you're looking for in pointy.
Hey, fulcrum, lever, we could price off.
Just let Runt do what he does.
If you want to actually take the door off its hinges, you can use my quarterstaff as a lever.
It might break.
Right, I knock. I knock on the door because I'm a polite Minotaur.
Okay. You knock on the door. There's a loud echo as you do so. Again, you wait 30 seconds or so. There's nothing.
Cool. Cool. I take the dagger that I took off the guard, edge it into the door jamb, slam it in, and just try and pry the lock, as opposed to just breaking the door down completely.
Okay, in that case, are you using strength to do so, or are you trying to be...
Yeah, I'll use strength as opposed to dexterity and just try and brute force the lock rather than break the door.
Okay, in which case, make me a strength check at disadvantage, because it's an improvised kind of method.
That's a 19, or please be decent. That would be a 3, so that's a 16.
16 's still decent, yeah. It's not pretty. You hammer the dagger in, you start to pull, and you can hear like the wood creaking and crackling a little bit, and then eventually there's just a metallic ping as the locking mechanism itself just kind of falls out of the door, and you can see it's just a simple... comes down like this. As the door swings open, it looks like the door itself has been locked with a simple slide down, rather than any key of any sort.
Are you happy then, Mercy? I didn't break down the door. You ruined my fun.
Well, I'm not unhappy, dear.
Makes a change.
We've known each other 5 minutes.
Good point. I'm a good judge of character.
Okay, so what's the... Like I say, the door has swung open. What's the next plan?
I turn, look at Alma and say, wait here. And then just walk through.
Okay. As you do so...
I'll follow.
Yeah, as you do so, do you want to make a dexterity save for me?
Hell yeah. Why not? And that would be a 18.
18. Yeah, that's fair enough. You walk in, and as you do, you kind of brush past and knock over what looks to be an urn that's precariously balanced on a stack of crates just by the door. And it falls, but you see this happen. You take a step back through the door again, and it breaks, and what looks like a yellow-orange kind of fumes kind of erupt from the urn and float up.
Oh, it looks like my farts.
Lovely.
Well, that happened.
Let's be really careful if they're booby-trapping the doors.
Tell you what, on second thoughts, send the child first.
No, I'll go first, it's fine. You've already taken the first hit.
Okay, I need two things from you guys. First is, are you all trying to be stealthy?
Nah.
No?
Yes.
Well, one of you is trying to be stealthy. You can discuss that before you go in.
Good luck with that.
But I think the
You're
general...
not meant to be going in, you're meant to be staying put.
I'm not listening to you.
Okay, in that case, I don't need a stealth check.
It's these days.
But what I do need is a running order. So, what order are you walking through?
I'll go first.
Okay, so who do we have first? Do we have the paladin or the barbarian?
Barbarian.
The first hit, I'll...
Okay.
I've got this, man. I've got this.
Okay.
I've got the most hit dice, so...
What's hit dice?
It's a minus.
I guess I'll bring up the rear of the group, so then it would be
So
Grunt, Gavril, Mercy, me.
okay, fair enough.
And Dog.
And then Bert.
Me and Dog.
Okay, so you make your way through. You don't hear anything. There's no light really coming through. So the humans, if you don't have dark vision, basically, which is Alma, possibly Gavriel, not sure about Runt.
I don't think Minotaurs do, rather.
Okay, in which case it is pitch black. As soon as you get out of the light of the door...
Well, I can see.
Scary lady, would you potentially do the light thing you did last time? Because that would be really handy.
Fine. And I cast light on my mace.
Okay, this
Thank you.
Mercy pulls up this mace, and you don't... Those of you with dark vision, which I think is just Mercy, obviously you know what it looks like, but it erupts into light, quite dazzling after the pure darkness. You kind of have to avert your eyes for a couple of seconds. But it is basically a glowing skull. glowing with a greenish orange light. Yeah, it's quite terrifying as maces go.
Seems perfectly legitimate.
Become?
Use it's not a pitchfork.
Yeah, if you just project, that should be fine. Okay, so are you...
Cool. So now we can see.
Yeah, you can see relatively well. You still can't see great because light, I believe, is only like... What is it? What are the details?
Can I?
It's 20 feet in bright light and then dim light for another 20.
Yeah, so you guys can see well within 20 feet, and then another 20 feet is quite dim for those of you without dark vision. So it's not perfect, but you can actually see where you're going. Mercy, are you taking
So is it almost
now,
like candlelight?
It's more like...
That we can kind of just about see, but not
It's more like torchlight, but yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna do something I didn't do last time, which I'm gonna see what Birch is doing, because if he's freaking out, then something's up.
No, dogs, I don't know about the character sheet, but they don't mind too much about the dark. He seems to be...
No, but last time
you.
he sensed the death in the room and I didn't.
Yeah, he seems... Not right now. He seems to just be sticking by your side. He seems pretty happy to just stick close to you. But that's a fair
Cool.
Can I have a sniff and see if I can, smell anything?
Okay, do you have keen senses as a Minotaur, or are you just sniffing?
Sniffing.
Okay, then make me a perception check at disadvantage.
Fair enough. Can't argue that one. That's 13 or... that'll be a 10.
Okay, you take in a big sniff, and then you start coughing, because you realise a little bit too late that you are in a bathhouse. So you smell, and you can smell oils and perfumes and cleaning, chemicals and mixtures used to clean the floors and everything like that. So
we all know Mr. Clean started in ancient Greece.
Yeah, well, it's not so artificial, obviously, but imagine smelling eucalyptus oil quite close. It's very menthol. It clears your sinuses, but it also makes your eyes water. But yeah, beyond that, no, you don't really smell anything else. What you can tell, though, is it does smell quite similar to the bodies that you found.
What's the layout of this actual building and room? Is it all long corridors, or can we see...
Yeah, at the minute, it's kind of, it's like a long corridor, thin, narrow corridor, and as you walk through, occasionally there'll be almost built-in cubby holes. It's all stone, built stone, and there's no doors on the cubby holes, but these cubby holes kind of go along every 10 feet or so, and the cubby holes themselves are only 5 feet into the wall, but there's more crates or jars of oils, dried flowers, things like that. It's you can't really see, Mercy, you can see about 50, 60 feet down the way, there is an opening. It does seem to open out. Those of you without dark vision won't see that, however.
There seems to be an open door or something a bit further down.
Should we just push on then? We're going to lose the daylight if we go too long.
Well, let's err on the side of caution while we're here, obviously, just in case something is lurking.
Yeah, so are you looking to sneak at this point?
I would opt for stealth.
Okay, yeah, if you all want to roll me stealth. That's
not going to end well.
just as a freebie, because I feel nice. It will be a much higher DC with the light on.
We also can't see with the light off. So
yeah, it's up to you. I'm just letting you know. Obviously, it's hard to sneak when you're carrying a big torch-like mace with a skull on it.
16 on stealth.
Okay.
That's a big nuke. That's not going to end well.
Mine's a 20, not natural.
Okay, Alma?
I think half the party...
Nat 1!
Okay. You're moving along. Mercy, you're doing quite well, actually. You you hold the mace close to the ground, so it's kind of mostly covered by people's feet as they walk ahead. You tend to hide most of it behind
so
people's...
much sense.
And like the bulk of the Minotaur. The rest of you are bimbling along in the dark. Alma, you're having a really hard time in the darkness. And you've got your
I'm not
hand
gonna
out.
lie. It makes perfect sense because my dexterity is shit anyway.
Yeah, you've got your hands out in front of you to make sure you don't like fall or anything. And you hit what feels like clay or pot, and there's a big smash as an urn of what seems like flower petals that's been kind of pickling spills out among the floor.
Sorry.
I think we've got to throw the slow motion over the shoulder look.
What is?
Sorry.
I think I might have asked this before, but what is everybody's passive perception?
11.
I've forgotten how to add that up.
12.
It is 8 plus your perception bonus.
8 plus my perception bonus. Thank you.
It's 8.
So all of you have really terrible perception, is what you're telling me.
8 plus 3, 11.
Barbarian.
So did anybody get above a 15 for their perception?
Nope.
Not passively, no.
Not passively. Okay.
If you let us roll for it, maybe.
No. Well, you're kind of paying attention to the crash. So yeah, that's fine. Do you carry on ahead?
Naturally.
Okay.
Of course.
You walk on ahead, and I'm just going to set something up.
Oh,
As you
dear.
walk through, you see the room lights up. It's not from the skylights that surround it. The sun is pretty much set by this point. But there are 6 baths, like Greek-style baths that sink into the marble of the floor, except they're glowing. Like the water itself seems to be emitting like a white-blue glow.
That's not at all weird.
And as you get there, you can see that each of the pools is also moving in a current, in like a clockwise motion.
Does anybody fancy a dip?
So yeah,
Not if it's going to turn us undead.
I can push you in if you like.
That's fancy. Probably
Why
pay
not?
a lot for that.
Ooh.
Might just be like the latest beautification. I don't know.
A runt. Then Gabriel.
Okay. Yeah, this is kind of what you see as you turn that down slightly. A bit dramatic.
Hmm.
This is what you see walking through. As I say, you can actually see now.
I will dim the light.
And you see a figure at the end there. She seems to be muttering to herself. She doesn't seem to be paying you any attention.
Who the bloody hell is that?
You could ask her.
Introduce ourselves politely.
Oh, we could not.
We
Let's
are
not
here
ask
to
this big man.
investigate. Not talking
What's
to
the
it,
worst
not
that could happen?
taking it, not an option.
Keep it down.
I'm sorry.
I might
Yeah,
have an
Let's
idea.
not keep it down. We're investigating some undead. Know anything about that? Ah, excellent.
Well, that depends on the motives behind the undead.
We will enact the will of the deity that controls this city. Does have
Right.
control over the city, though, where
All in favour?
Although I kind of know two people that actually do, and you're not either of them. So how about no?
can I throw a javelin?
I
at
actually
this
am a
thing?
child.
Ask him to leave. Yeah, I've had enough of this guy, this person. I'm not having it.
Things.
Oh yeah, that is quite far.
The hell's going on?
Oh.
Oh, mercy, I do believe everything has come to shit.
So Gavril's just decided to attack him.
Yeah.
I thought that was my role.
Yep. I'm just.
It's gone very quiet.
It's at 6, so it's 3. Sorry, it's not how numbers work. It's 9 total. I'm good at maths.
I will have my reward. It's already too late. They promised to bring him back. They will. In this life or the next, we will be reunited with him.
Oh! Yes.
Okay. You here.
Oh, hell to the no, bitch.
As this happens, see the force of the planetary starts to turn around and pulsate and whirlpool until there's like a big gap in the middle where the force is separated from water.
She's trying to bring her husband back. Let's kill it.
Oh. You see,
Oh, well, calm as a
how can
bitch,
you do
bitch.
that with the javelin?
Yeah, my sound will be fine when I'm close to the microphone.
Dionysus.
Eight-legged monstrosity and kind of pulls one of its pointed legs out of the body of this woman, turns, and then looks at you guys. Everybody roll initiative.
Oh, well, isn't that a delightful pile of nope?
Oh, yes, please.
What do I add it to again? This is always the thing that I forget. Or do I just leave it as? Thank you. 5.
Natural 20.
Dude.
Really low initiative. Oh, Luke. You have one job, man.
He had
That
one
should be
job
better.
plus video plus live stream
Yeah, I
planning
had-
the D&D plus.
I had
Oh,
lots
so
of jobs.
He had a dozen jobs.
Yeah, I had
But
about.
he had one job.
Okay, my sound should be a lot better there. It's because we changed battle map, basically. Okay,
Okay, cool.
so I have a 6 from Gavriel. Mercy, what initiative did you roll?
12.
12. Okay. Alma?
5.
5. And Runt?
An unnatural 20.
Oof, and what does that make it?
It was a nat 19, so it will be 20.
So it wasn't a natural 20.
But it was an unnatural.
Oh, okay, I see. It's a 20.
Much like this thing that's currently climbing out of the bath.
I see. Sadly, the giant spider thing rolled a 21.
For fuck's sake.
So it's going to go first.
Oh, yay!
So rather than walk towards you guys, what happens is it walks a few feet to the other side. I'm going to get my handy-dandy assistant to do this for me. The pool opposite to me, it walks into the water and disappears. Okay?
Awesome. So it's going to be in any of these now.
Okay, one sec.
We need to brace for impact.
Okay, that's...
Okay, whack a spider.
Okay, that's that.
Has anybody got like a can of Raid? Like that'd be really useful right now.
Runt. What? Your turn.
Right, I'm gonna draw my Sparta, go to the edge of the closest pool, and just like stand ready.
Left or right?
Braced. To left. Everything you own in the box to the left.
Okay. Yeah. So you're stood there. Are you like readying an action now?
I don't really have much that I can do in the way of that. I'm just ready to attack.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can ready an action, and that action can be to, for example, in this case, it could be ready my action to attack if it comes out of the pool. So you can do that
ready to attack in case it pops up in front of me. Just play Whack a Spider, as Gav said.
Yeah. Okay, Mercy, your turn.
Okay, I'm going to get just inside the doorway.
Yep.
I want to be roughly 30 feet between the 3 pools that I can see.
Okay.
The pool on the left, pool on the right, and anything just in front.
Okay, yeah. That thing just in front is an empty bathhouse that seems to have been cleaned.
Oh, got you. Right, okay. Distance. And so what I am going to do... I'm going to ready Bane.
Okay.
So the minute I see it, I'm going to try and Bane it.
Okay, fair enough. Gabriel, your turn.
The squares are 5 foot off.
They are, yes.
I will come and stand between the nearest pool and Mercy.
Okay.
In order to hope that me or Runt takes the brunt of whatever comes out of the pools.
Okay.
The runt of whatever comes out the pools.
Are you also ready in an action to do something?
Yeah, I'm hoping that if something pokes out of that pool, it's in nice range to get stabbed.
Yep, that is fair enough. Okay, Alma, your turn.
I'm not going to move. I'm going to stay in... Well, hang on. How far in the doorway am I?
Only just because you were right at the back, so you're...
So there's a little corridor, is there?
Yeah, you're about
that
20...
I can see.
You're about 20 feet from the nearest ally, not counting Birch.
Okay. So I'm going to get to just where the gap for the entrance would be beyond the corridor, but basically stand in the entrance.
So there?
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Is
Birch following you, or is he staying at the back?
Birch can stand behind me.
Okay, so Birch is, yeah.
And
Doggo.
I can I ready a spell?
You can, yeah.
Cool. So, just... Oh, hang on. Actually, I'm not going to ready a spell. I'm going to use one of my cantrips, which is the one that I can't pronounce, so I want to call it Shingles, but it's not.
Oh, Shillelagh.
That one.
Yep. So are you turning your quarterstaff into a magical... Yeah. You focus on your staff, and it starts to glow with a slight light to it. Nothing that it actually emits light, but does that, and some of the knots on it start to grow little shoots and leaves on them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's enough for me at the minute.
Okay, top of the round. So the spider pops out of the hole next to the woman on the ground. Yep, that one there. And then walks along the wall, 30 feet in front. Yep. And down into the pit. Because it's got spider climbs there. Okay.
Is it in range?
What's the range on Bane?
30.
Then
You're just out.
You're just out of range, sadly.
Right. So that means I've lost the spell, yeah?
It will be by your next turn, yeah. But what it does do is it fires something at Runt, because he's the biggest looking target.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, it kind of rears back on its back 4 legs and spits out something from its in between its pincers. Although I doubt a 11 hits you.
I think I can safely say that it does not.
Okay, you kind of hear it come out of the water. You hear the splashing of the water and the skittering along the tiles, and you see it spit at you, and you just move out of the way, and the back wall kind of gets hit with this globule of sticky, silken, like half liquid, that starts to run down the wall and spread across it. Okay. 1 second. I just need to. Okay. Runt, it is now your turn.
Do I want to close with it? Yeah, all right. I'll charge around the side of the pool towards it.
Okay. Is the side along the same side you're already on?
It's hard to tell on the map from the tiny little screen that I have, but yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. So what's your running? 30 feet?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think you're quite in range of it because it's down. It's only about a 5-foot drop because it's a pool. It's not meant to be deeper than that. But you can try and make an athletics check to do like a jumping slice. I'll let you do that because it'll look cool.
Nice, I like it. All right, let's try that.
Yep.
That's athletics modifier, is it?
Yes.
Cool. So that will be an 18.
Yeah. So you run up to the edge. You do a big leap as you're running. Your sword held above your head, and you swing down and use the momentum of the swing to come down right at the spider's flank. Roll to attack.
I like it. This is where I roll like a nat 1 or something, isn't it? I rolled 12.
12. It sees you coming, and it kind of moves with it. It's so creepy. It kind of just moves with like a jittering. It kind of moves its body, and you hear a massive clang as your sword hits the floor. Will you roll me a Constitution check, please?
I can indeed.
Constitution save, sorry.
Oh, really? Jesus. I'm rolling pretty well tonight. That is a 18.
Okay. You see that it moves out of the way, and you kind of adjust your angle at the last minute, and rather than a big clang to the floor, your sword kind of skitters across the tiles. Just as an FYI, it's made of bronze. It's not as sturdy as other weapons. Yeah. Yeah, look, whilst I'm not going to make you take massive care of your weapons, they're more likely to break through acts like that than things like steel or iron normally would.
Note to self, by a whetstone.
Yeah. So yeah, that's your turn then. Unless, yeah, you have no movement yet because of the jump. You can do something as a bonus action if you'd like.
Cool. Can I ready like an attack to riposte in case it goes for me, or
not as a bonus action? Sadly, you could. Yeah.
The attack didn't connect, so I can't shove it. In that case, there's all I can do, so I'll just sit there and look gormless.
Okay.
As many a Minotaur does.
Stare it down. Yeah. Mercy, it is now your turn.
Okay. You know what I said about the spell would waste by the end of this turn?
It's before your next turn. So, yeah, how this holding a spell works, for those people that don't know, is you ready it by kind of gathering all the power and muttering most of the words, and then that last bit of the incantation you kind of just hold right on the cusp. But if you don't use it within a certain amount of time, the magic wavers and it kind of dissipates out. Which is why
so I've lost it, yeah?
You've lost it and lost the spell slot, sadly, yes.
Whatever that son of a has made me waste my spell slot and my last spell slot. Oh, it's going to burn. Right, I'm going to get to... No, what's the actual range of it now?
Oh, how close are you? So just
yeah, please.
5 feet for getting down into the pit.
I just want to know if I'm within 60 feet of it.
Yeah,
so you are 30 foot away.
Feet of it. You were just 35 feet. You were literally 5 feet out of it.
Okay, fine. I'm just going to hold the mace out, whisper a couple of words, and it's going to sacred flame it.
Okay, that's a save, isn't it?
It will be a dex save.
Okay. That is a natural 1. So yeah, feel free to roll for damage.
And that would be a very nice 7 radiant damage.
7 radiant damage. Okay. So this thing, you hit it, and it glows, and it seems to sizzle, like the hairs on it. You can hear them, even from here, literally burning away, and you get the smell of, like, burnt hair, mixed in with all the perfumes and everything else. It's a little overwhelming. But unlike the undead that you were fighting, this thing doesn't seem to be as bothered by the radiant damage.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm just slowly going to make it suffer.
Okay. Alma. No, Gabriel, sorry. It is your turn. Did you want to move at all, Mercy, sorry, or were you just going to stay at a safe
Oh,
distance?
no. It can stay away like the bitch that it is.
Okay. Gabriel. Your turn. Gabriel, sorry.
So I have reach on my weapon.
You
so
do.
I believe that turn 8. Am I able to reach it from the elevator platform?
Yeah, you
There's
can.
one stab thing.
Yeah, you can stab down a bit with your weapon. This is kind of a perfect opportunity, to be fair.
Hooray!
Poke it with the stick, Barry. Go on, get angry.
Get that pitchfork out, farmer.
So yeah, roll for attack.
16?
That hits. Roll for damage.
Oh, brilliant. That is 12.
Wow. So yeah, this thing takes a hefty amount of damage. You go to stab, and as it was moving away from Runt's strike, it didn't know that you'd come up at the edge as well, and you literally skewer through one of its eye sockets. It doesn't like hit straight through its head or anything, but one of its many eyes, you skewer right through it, and it kind of and skitters back a little bit. Sorry, headphone users.
Here.
Do you do anything else?
This is
Don't have any bonus
thieves.
actions to take at this stage, I don't think. Yeah.
Okay. Alma, it is your turn.
Okay. So, how far away am I from it?
You're about 40 feet away, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's in a big hole.
Yeah, so it's got...
Yeah, no, that is a horrible idea. That's a horrible idea. That's not also a horrible idea.
I think Alma's turned into an undead as well.
Yeah, or the predator.
I'm not 100% sure what... Oh, now I know what I'm going to do. Right, quick question. Obviously, is it blatantly obvious that it's a giant spider? Or is it like a just 8-legged creature?
Quite obviously a giant spider of some sort.
Cool. Have I seen a creature like this before? So would I know it has a weakness of some kind?
Make a nature check for me.
Cool.
The little druid.
Shit, the thing fell off the table. Right. Third time lucky. There you go. 18.
18. You've seen spiders before. This doesn't look like your average giant spider. This thing looks wrong, almost. Like its movements are wrong. They almost look... Do you know, like you see... like the old stop motion videos, like Jason and the Argonauts with the skeletons and like the stop things like that. It almost moves out of time with itself in jittering movements, and its limbs don't always move the right kind of way. It's almost like there's something not quite right about it. In terms of weaknesses, you don't really know. Like a spider's a spider; it's just bigger.
Okay.
Giant newspaper.
Okay. So it's not got like anything weird about it other than the fact that it just seems like it.
Yeah, it just seems to be a little wrong.
Okay. Can I still move?
Yeah, you haven't done anything yet, so you can move.
Okay. I'm gonna leave Birch in the doorway because he can be out of the way for the minute.
Yep.
And so I'm within 40 feet of it. Okay. Okay, I think I'm gonna move about 20 feet forward, but kind of off to the left.
Okay. So, yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, cool. And no, that won't work because that'll get everyone else stuck. Really horrible idea.
Yeah, please don't do that.
No, it's just I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna just leave it at moving.
Okay.
Keep an eye on it, see if the weird movement has anything that we can use against it.
Okay, that's fine. In that case, top of the round. I'll roll that now so I don't forget. Yep. So the spider, seeing it took a big hit from you, Gabriel, but you're actually within its reach. So it is going to, it's going to reach out and attack you. That is a 20. Does that hit you?
I can safely say that does.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is 6 piercing damage. And I don't believe you're raging yet, are you?
I am not.
Yep, so that's the full 6 piercing damage. And,
Dude!
And could you make a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
I can try my best. Let's see how this goes. That is a 10.
Ooh, yeah, so as this thing bites down on your unarmored shoulder, you feel the initial pain that hits you, and then you kind of feel a pulse, and your shoulder aches, and then incredible pain seems to course through you as the venom from this spider takes effect, and you take an additional 13 points of poison damage.
I think you'll find that I'm down.
Okay, so yeah, this thing bites into you and follows you down as you go, leaving you unconscious on the ground. Then, seeing you still up there, Gabriel, it tries to move back and run towards the nearest pool. Feel free to make an attack of opportunity because you have reach.
I was about to ask.
Yeah.
13.
Okay, it just misses. Like I say, the movements of this thing are just weird. So you go to strike where you think it's going to be, and its body just doesn't move that way. It kind of just, its top, like forward and back half seem to move out of time, and it skitters up the wall and into this pool here, and disappears. Okay, Runt, will you make a death saving throw for me, please?
Oh, thank fuck for that. 19.
19, yep. Okay, you're fine for now. You're still dying, but you're not dead.
Aren't we all, Luke? Aren't we all really?
Mercy, you saw the spider bite. You managed to see the spider bite Runt because he's quite tall and the spider's quite big. And then you saw Runt go down, but you can't see him now because he's in the bath itself. But it's your turn.
What, is he drowning, or...?
No, it's the empty one, but there's still like a dip, so you can't see him because he's through there.
That's fine, I'll move to the edge.
Yep.
I will spare the dying.
Okay. So you're stable but still unconscious, Runt?
I'm going to turn to Alma and say, that stupid thing made me waste a spell. Can you bring the big guy back up, please?
That'd be nice.
I'm going to... Yeah, in which case I'm going to keep an eye out for where it might pop up again, and I am going to ready the cantrip, Toll the Dead.
Oh yeah, that's right, because Spare the Dying's a bonus action for you, isn't it?
It is.
Brilliant. Yeah, so you can ready that until you see it pop up.
As long as it's within range, then fine.
Yep. Garviel, your turn.
Real. Okay.
We'll have a contest, see who can actually pronounce your name at some point. 'Cause apparently it's...
See who can maul at the best. So I'm gonna move back to here and just get ready for it popping up behind us.
Okay.
Hopefully I can protect whoever is it going to dive for, unless it goes back to the Minotaur.
Okay. Are you ready in attack again then?
Yeah, I'm going to ready in attack.
Okay. Alma, your turn.
Has it been a minute?
Since what?
Because Shillelagh only lasts a minute.
No, each round is 6
It's 12.
seconds, so...
What now?
Each round lasts 6 seconds, so a minute is 10 rounds.
Awesome. Cool. Just checking. I forgot. I sometimes forget how long each thing is. Anyway, how far am I away from this dip? And did I see? Well, obviously she yelled at me. So how far am I away from this dip?
Yeah, you're 10 feet away from the edge. Like I say, you can't see him.
Awesome.
At the minute, but if you get to the edge, you'll
Cool.
be able
I'm
to see
gonna
him.
slide. I'm gonna slide into that because that's a dip in the ground and I can hide in it.
Okay.
And then I'm in there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think so. I'm allowed to use the same spell twice because I've got 2 spell slots.
Yeah, you can use whichever spells you like, as long as you have the spell slots for them.
Cool. Healing word it is then on Runt.
Okay, that's 1d4 plus your wisdom modifier.
Where's my wisdom gone?
Question I asked myself often.
So yeah, Runt, you come to, and with a massive aching pain in your shoulder, and 7 hit points.
Alright, now I'm pissed.
You're still prone, but you're conscious. Thank you, my lovely assistant.
Just gonna knock
So
him
he's
down.
still unconscious.
No, he's not unconscious, he's just prone, so he's still laid down. It'll take half his movement to get up again, but he's conscious.
Okay.
Okay, top of the round. Okay, so the spider appears again from the one it just came out of. So this one here. Oh no, it came out of this one this time. This one. And seeing, I think.
Oh.
Is it runs up to Mercy.
Of course it does. As it appears, can I release my spell, please?
Yeah, you can toll the dead. What? That's a con save, I believe.
No, it is a wisdom save.
Wisdom, my mistake. That is a 19.
Son of a bitch. Okay, fine, whatever.
Okay. So it attacks. Does a 18 hit you?
Barely.
Okay, 1d8 plus 2.
Just for the love of God, roll a save.
So yeah, that does 5 damage. And make a...
I'm unconscious.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mother of God.
Well, we didn't have. Well, nobody bothered to heal, and we didn't have a rest either.
Okay. So yeah, as the thing happens, again. Oh,
Have I still got my attack of opportunity?
You've got your ready in action, yeah, so you can try and stab it if you'd like.
That's not even on the number. 17.
That hits. Roll for damage.
Wow, amazing. 12, 3, 15.
Okay. As you see, again, its attention is focused on Mercy, who can't quite get her shield up in time. This thing biting into her arm, her shield arm, as she does so, and her hitting the ground. You take that opportunity and you take your lance and you put it straight in the divide between its front body and its thorax. And the thing yells out in terrible pain, which I'm not going to do because I killed the headphone users. A horrible, unnatural sound. And then it shudders and expires. Okay. As it does... we're still going to call it an initiative for now because you have one dying character. So, Alma, it is your turn.
So we've got Gabriel murdering a spider.
The spider is
Mercy's unconscious. Runt is
lying down.
not unconscious, but not getting up anytime soon. Cool. Right.
Are you okay with us sharing a quick one-way message?
I'm gonna.
Right.
I'm
Poisoned. Tell me.
gonna shout to Garville to check on Mercy first. I'm gonna try and help Run up, despite me being tiny.
Run up to who? Sorry.
So I'm gonna say to Garville to go check on Mercy, and I'm gonna help Runt if I can. If the spider is dead.
Runt's fine. Runt's awake. He's just lying down.
I know he's awake,
I
but
need
he's
to
on
get
the
up.
floor still.
I can stand up.
Yeah, you can help him
I don't
stand
need
up.
the help of a child.
That's fine.
I'm going to help. I want to be nice.
Runt, you're up.
I lean over and give a gentle squeeze on the shoulder and go, "Thank you, Sprog."
Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you look around and everything appears to be dead.
Just the way I like it.
Including possibly your cleric. Do you do anything, or is that pretty much you for the turn, Runt? Sorry.
I'm going to go over to Mercy and just sort of like stand guard in case anything else pops out.
Okay.
You never know.
Fair enough. Mercy, do you want to make a death saving throw for me?
17.
17? Yeah, that's one success.
Oh shit.
Garville, your turn.
Shit, I can stabilize, can't I? Okay.
I can move over to Mercy,
Mm-hmm.
and then, well, I'm not very familiar with this, but as I understand, Lay on Hands gives me a pool of healing that I can transfer.
It does.
And at level 1, my pool of healing is 5 points.
Yes.
And I can transfer up to 5 points of a single action.
Yes.
So, if I transfer a single point,
Yeah.
then stabilization will occur.
It will, yes.
Excellent.
Is that what you're doing?
I will stabilize.
Okay, so yeah,
1 point from Lay on Hands.
you, lance in one hand, kind of resting on your shoulder, you bend down to the prone form of Mercy, and your hand glows with like a white light that slowly dissipates over her form, and then there's a slight pause, and then as Mercy comes round again. Not dead, gladly. Okay, and
What the?
yeah, and now that Mercy is conscious and none of your party are in danger, we will end the initiative there. Okay, and I'll take us back to the main screen. There we go. So yeah, just as you guys get up, you hear a last.
Get your hand off me!
You hear a last. As
Thank you, but get off.
as the woman also seems to expire.
Good riddance, I guess.
Divine Sense.
Okay, divine sense. You sense a fading essence from the spider, but it very quickly fades into nothingness as it goes from undead to dead.
And her?
Her, you got just at the cusp of her dying. You did the sense, and no, she seemed to be alive.
Oh, the bitch is dead.
So, living necromancer, unliving abomination. Both
Standard
Yeah, sounds about right.
Should we take some time and make sure we're properly healed up? I think we all took a bit of a battle.
Well, I want to find out what the bloody hell she was up to first.
Yeah.
I can assume it was resurrecting her dead husband, seeing as that's what she told us.
Well, technically, you didn't know that because you didn't understand it, Runt. Unless
Of
you.
course.
Yeah, she said that in Infernal, so Mercy can relay that information.
And I did actually shout out, she's trying to resurrect a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That thing being a giant
Trying to
spider.
resurrect it. She said trying.
Oh.
Spider appeared. You could probably assume that we have no idea what she was trying to resurrect.
Oh yeah, I mean, intelligence is my dump stat. It could just cause effect, no correlation.
Yeah, fair.
So, big spooter thing is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any... This might sound really weird, but is there any way that I could try and collect some of the venom from it just in case it comes in handy later?
You could absolutely try that. You have the skills, but do you have anything you can use as a container?
Good question.
Well, I'm going to examine where she was.
Yeah, are you going to examine her or just the general area that she was?
No, I'm going to examine her.
Okay.
I'm going to check her body all over, and then I'm going to see what she was doing and what her ritual was.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Alma, you telling us what you're doing? You make it clear that you're collecting.
Not really. I'm just going to kind of go do, and then make sure Birch is still alive.
It's fine.
I'm trying to figure out what I could use as a container, and the only thing that I've got is a painter's kit, and my assumption that I'd have some little water pot that I could use.
Not so much a water pot. You've got like paint pots, but you'd have to empty out what's left of the paint to do that.
That's fine. I'll get rid of I'll get rid of a weird color I don't use, and that's fine.
Okay, so yeah, so you can have
yellow.
Like...
I'm now out of yellow.
Okay, so the yellow spills all over the floor. Make a.
So
while you're doing your. So
make a what now?
Alma, if you make a medicine check, and Mercy, would you make an investigation check as you inspect the body?
I got 10.
10? Okay.
Yep.
18 for me.
Okay. So Alma, you try at this for the next few minutes or so, and you can't seem to tap the venom. Again, you don't know whether you're having an off day or whether it's just because this thing wasn't quite living or wasn't quite right, but you can't seem to get any venom to extract from the dead fangs. Not enough to do anything with. You kind of get like what's left on it, but nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. Mercy, on
Can I rip the fang out of his head?
You can. It's messy, but you have a fang. You can add
sweet
undead spider fang to your inventory if you like.
I do the same.
Okay,
just
yeah,
keep it as a trophy.
Both feel free.
You nearly died!
Okay, Mercy.
I didn't.
Guys.
So anyone you walk away from.
Mercy, on an 18, you find quite a bit on this person, actually. The book seems to just be random scribblings of observations she's made on the undead and the pools and what's been happening. So you can take some time to read that if you like. And I
will take the book and then...
Yeah, go on.
As I said, no, so what I'll do is I'll take it with me and then spend some time trying to decipher it.
Okay. Along with that, you find one vial with like an almost honey kind of golden liquid in it. It's almost like syrup, like thin syrup.
Okay.
You also find two basically wooden wands on her person.
Okay.
And on an 18, the bag itself that she has on her side seems to have arcane, like embroidery almost in there that seems to shimmer when you move the bag. So yeah, for now, if you want to, until you get a chance to do something with them, if you want to add one bag, one potion, and 2 wands to your inventory, because you don't know what they do yet, but that's what you have.
That's fine, and I've got a random book of stuff.
Yes.
Okay, and with the surrounding area, what was the? Can I sort of determine what the ritual was?
Well, the surrounding
have
area,
I got any sort of...
the pools are still moving slightly.
No. So I'm on about where she was casting the spell.
Oh,
is there any indication as to what the ritual was? Would I have any indication as to what she was trying to do based on what I would know?
It's nothing that you've seen before. Like, she didn't seem to be making any sort of actual spell. Like, she said words and she spoke in Infernal, but her hands didn't move in like an arcane way that you'd know. You look around and there's no like inscriptions on the ground. There's no scrolls or candles or incense burning or anything like that. It just seems to be that she was speaking to the pool. Almost, maybe she was speaking to something there, or maybe she was just trying to...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, whatever she was doing, clearly there's something special about this water. Either something's been done to it, or...
Dive into the water.
Okay, you dive into the nearest pool. Would you like to roll a d6 for me?
It's a 6.
Okay, you dive into the pool just in the middle there, that you can still see. One sec. I will demonstrate. So you dive into... Which pool are you diving into? This one, yeah.
Oh my god.
The empty one.
Oh my god, the fish man has the brains of a fish.
So yeah, he disappears for a bit. About 6 seconds pass.
Looking up from stroking dog, saying, "It's okay. What did he just do?"
First player death, second session.
He's already nearly died once as well. Like,
out of
So
that
have I,
pool.
to be fair.
All three of you have.
He's fine. He's like, you're conscious. You just saw the water, saw the current moving around, and then saw what looked like light. Do you know, like you... So you look up, and it's like you're seeing the surface. You look down, and after a while of swimming, which you're pretty good at, you also saw what looked like the surface. So 5 seconds of swimming, and you came out at that pool at the end.
So there is no branching underwater.
No, it seems to be the current moves in such a way, and then you just spotted it to go in. Like, feel free to go in again if you like, or...
I'm experimenting.
Why don't you get out, and why don't you drop something in?
Because then I don't know what's down there still. There's nowhere
I
to go.
pick up Birch and...
You put my dog down.
Are you, Gabriel, are you jumping into the
give
pool
him a
again?
gentle stroke.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through the pools and try and get a good idea of what's going on under there. If it's like a hex setup or something.
Okay, you jump in and roll a d6 for me.
Well, if he's sticking about, I'm going to start reading the book.
Okay, the pool just down from there. You jump in, and then same thing happens. Seems to be the same path almost, but you pop out of that pool.
Is there a way to try and keep myself down there a little bit longer to look if there's like doors moving or something?
Yeah, hold your breath.
You can certainly try, yeah. So you jump back into the pool. You're there, and you kind of stay in the water for a while, rather than choosing where to go up. And after about 6 seconds, you feel a pull. Would you like to make a strength save for me?
19?
Great. 19, yeah, you feel the pull of a current seem to pull you towards another surface area of some sort, but you're a good swimmer and you're quite strong, so you keep yourself in place, and that fades, and then after a while you kind of see 6 identical lights kind of surrounding you in different places, and then you look below you, and you can see what looks like just darkness. Like, do you know, like deep water kind of darkness?
Yeah, let's go look at that.
Okay. You start swimming towards that, and the current's quite strongly pushing against you, but on a 19, I'm not going to make you roll again. As you do so, though, would you please make me a Constitution saving throw?
If he drowns and we can't tell it, oh.
For you guys, it has been like only 10 or so seconds, so, you know, he's not been down there for long.
I've obviously just gone over to my dog, but while he's doing that, am I able to check the door, see if, giant spider fight drew any attention?
Okay, yeah, if you make me a perception check, and then I'll come back to you after I've finished with Ken.
Yep.
Okay, so what did you just say, sorry, Ken? Constitution. Yeah, at 11, as you start to swim closer to this thing, although the physical current seems to be pushing out at you, you feel something else from the depths of this dark water seem to maybe pull something. It seems like it's almost pulling at your energy, at your strength. And as you're diving down, you take just 2 points of necrotic damage as you feel the strength start to leave you.
Yeah, that sounds like time to leave.
Okay, you heading towards the surface again? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, as you do so, you kind of just whiz out. Would you roll a d6 for me? 5. So yeah, the one you went into.
No, this one.
Yep, so you come out there. You come out with some force this time. You kind of have to try and style it out as you get slammed onto the marble. As the current pushing you up kind of jettisoned you out of the water. For you guys, yeah, but after about 15-20 seconds of waiting, Gabriel, the same pool he jumped into, he kind of just flies out of it again and lands on the floor. A soggy boy.
Nice for you to drop in.
Alma, what did
Without
you
looking
roll?
up from the book.
I got a 5.
5, yeah, you don't notice anything. To be fair, you were too busy kind of trying to listen into what Gabriel was doing to notice anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, without looking up from the book, I just go, oh, he didn't drown. Oh, that's a bonus, isn't it?
Can I make a suggestion to everyone in the room?
One second.
Firstly,
Alma. 1 second. Sorry, you can't hear Ken as well, so I'll interrupt when he starts to speak so you can actually hear what he's saying.
So there's something under the water that's physically pulling, and there's changing kind of currents under the water. But in addition to that,
What I got there was there's something under the water. You cut out completely after that, mate.
so there's a current under the water.
there's currents under the water that keep changing.
That's not helping.
Luke, do you mind translating just until
There's
we
currents
break?
under the water that keep changing.
There.
Yeah, basically, there's a current under the water that keeps changing and something that's drawing energy or something from him.
Yeah, there's
Well-
a further pool of water beneath the bathhouse, and there's something very odd under there that's kind of pulling down in a very sinister fashion. I'm suspecting that might be connected to whoever this woman and this thing is.
Well, if we plan to do anything about this, I suggest we be more prepared. I suggest we take a rest at some point. I need to find someone to help me decipher what she was writing or reading from this book, because it's very peculiar. Plus, there's these, and I show the items that I found. It says, plus there's these. So it'd be nice to try and figure out what weird stuff she was planning to do.
Well, we can
I
either
second-
try and rest in here, preferably away from whatever those pools are.
Can we not rest near the corpse of a woman and a spider?
I go and sit on the spider. Why the hell not?
It is quite comfy, actually. It's a little bit gooey, but it's furry, so...
I like it. It's upholstered.
Alright,
You're upholstered.
Start on the spider.
if we're resting in here, then fine. Okay.
Okay, so are you guys taking a short rest and looking through things for a little bit?
Well,
Yeah.
well, let's put it this way: if we get into trouble again, I've got absolutely no spell slots available.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
I'm on 7 hit points. So if I get hit again, I'm...
We're all basically dead, and I've got no means to do anything else.
Okay, well...
So
if
we
you guys-
either tell some.
Go on.
No, what I was going to suggest is we report what we found, get somebody to send some guards here to watch this place until we can be more prepared to venture forward, and then maybe then we'll do the thing.
I second that. Also, I want to have a look at the book, because I did, I've had some experience with difficult books. So,
War and Peace, was it?
I might be able to help.
Well, if you want to leave, I'll wait out in the corridors in case anything else comes out of here while we're waiting.
Why don't we? Well, we're all slightly injured, so why don't we get somebody from the place that's, when are you supposed to be here? Why don't we get the people in charge to actually do what they're supposed to be doing?
Because we were
That's their job, right?
Sure Dionysus left that duty to
and
us.
to do it quickly before Ares' troops come and investigate, so he can
Yes.
save face.
But we can still at least say, look, we found a thing. You can at least help us while we're helping you.
If you want.
While these guys are talking, can I leave?
I'll be waiting here.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I just
So-
want to leave.
Can I grab Alma by the scruff of the neck and just like...
No! You're not allowed.
If you want to make a stealth check, Alma, and you want to make a perception check, Runt, to see if you notice her trying to leave.
That'll do.
12.
Nat 20.
Yeah, you
Fuck off.
you have to try and climb out of the bath, so you notice nothing. So you're not being stealthy at all. You get halfway trying to climb out of the bath when a big hand grabs the back of your shawl and just pulls you down onto your butt.
I just look at her and go, stay.
No, leave.
Stay.
Birch, bite.
Birch growls at the Minotaur, but he's staying up top on the bath. He seems a little upset by the whole spider thing.
Are you sure you're going to be all right here, Gavril?
I'll be fine.
No, that's not what I asked.
I'm worried about Bovril.
No, you're Bob.
Just because I'm beefy and stocky.
No, it's because you're delicious.
Well, I'm still going to find someone to do this, because you shouldn't be guarding this place while we do something else.
Mercy, can I come with you?
That's fine, but I don't
Well-
want to leave this
By all
place
means,
until-
please.
Okay, so we splitting the party. We having Runt and Gavril stay and guard the place whilst Alma and Mercy go and find someone to assist.
Yes.
Kind of.
Okay. Before you do that, then we'll have a 10-minute break here so people can get drinks, make a cuppa, cigarette, anything like that, and yeah.
Swear at my phone.
Swear at your phone, yep. And we will be back at basically 52 minutes past 8. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Bye.
Sure.
And welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a good break, had a pee if you needed to, got some snacks, got a drink. Thanks for joining us again. Before we start, just again, another thank you for everybody that's watching, everybody that's donated to Calm, everybody that's following, subscribing. If you could, keep spreading the word, keep donating, keep doing all that jazz, that'd be amazing. Keep an eye on social media as well, because we've got lots of stuff that keep happening, like the Match of the Deity stuff, like we might have a painting channel coming soon. So we've got a lot of stuff on the way, so keep an eye on things. And just as another reminder for those that may have forgotten, we each week before the stream on the Tuesday, we have Match of the Deity with the gods, where they'll be giving their favour. And last session, they gave favour of the gods to Mercy, who now, as favour of the gods, gets inspiration to use within this session if she wants to. So,
how does that actually work?
It works like normal inspiration. You can use it any time, but it runs out by the end of this session. A new person.
So what would it be? Is it like a bonus dice roll or something? Or
whenever you make a d20 roll, you can choose to roll another dice and pick which one once.
Oh, it's basically like having like a luck thing, yeah.
So it's like you have one luck.
Okay, cool.
Basically advantage, isn't it?
Yeah, you basically get advantage on one save, attack, skill check of your choice.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so right, just before the break, they managed to dispatch of a speeder, stop a woman that seemed to be doing something with these mysterious pools in the bathhouse, which seemed to be the source of the undead from what you kind of garnered from investigating. 2 party members got pretty beat up in that, and just before the break,
you're welcome.
The party split again, and Gavriel and Runt stayed behind to keep an eye on the bathhouse just in case anything else appeared, whilst Mercy and Alma decided to go and find someone to come deal with what had happened, because the party's looking pretty beat up at the moment. Okay, so because it's probably easiest, Gavriel and Runt, while you're sat there doing your thing, is there anything you wanted to talk about?
While we're waiting, I want to use my lay on hands to cure the 2 wounds I took earlier.
Okay.
And Runt, are you still injured? Do you need any more healing?
I would not say no to some DLC.
I'm not as talented as Mercy and Alma are, but if you don't mind, I'll use my gifts.
I'm on 7 HP, so by all means, if you wish to use your gifts,
whatever that means.
A formal lay on hands.
7 out of 14. I'm on 50% health.
I can do 2 hit points.
Yeah, so you're now on 9.
It's better than 7, marginally.
For a barbarian, that's basically you're on 18 now. So as long as you don't get hit with poison damage. Oh wait.
Yeah, bite me. Oh wait, you did.
Ah. So, do you guys want to do anything whilst you were here? Or...
I want to congratulate Gavriel on his amazing kill. With more than a hint of jealousy in my voice as I do.
Your acrobatic attack initially was fantastic.
Oh no, it would have been fantastic if that hit had landed.
Well, it's not a normal situation to be diving into the middle of a bath to fight a giant spider.
Oh, it's a normal situation to be diving into a bath, apparently.
It came from down there. I want to check there weren't any others. Don't particularly fancy having another one of those jump up if we start paying attention at any point.
Came from a land down under.
So, what did you find down there?
From what I could understand, when I was down there, I got kind of stuck through and then spat out the other side. I wasn't swimming through them, I was just getting dragged. But it seemed to move and change, like there were doors that opened and closed or something. Very interesting. I don't fully understand how it works. When I tried to not be pulled through, I became aware that there's an abyss below, a huge body of very dark water. I couldn't see through it, and it felt like it was tugging at me, like trying to drag me under, but not in the way that water moves when you're trapped under a wave, more in the way that when you're attacked by a magic user, feel kind of parts of yourself being ripped away.
Might be worth exploring.
Maybe we don't go down the water route and check there's another way down.
I mean,
Someone
if
might
you're
build a staircase down or something.
potentially, I mean, it may be that you need to go for another swim.
If needed, I'll do it, but I think it's better if we stick together. I couldn't have fought that spider on my own; that would have mauled me to death. And I don't
Yeah,
fancy one of
that
those
bastard have a bite. Not gonna lie.
Oh, I saw that's. Do you need a bit of time to rest if you want to get some?
You know what? I wouldn't say no to a short rest.
Yeah, I was going to say, whilst you guys, if you're just chatting, you can both take a short rest. You're not doing like push-ups or climbing or investigating, so you can still keep a lookout and take a short rest if you want to roll hit dice and heal up if you need to.
Nice, thank you.
So, where did you come from before you found yourself in Thebes then?
I've been around. Most recently a caravan guard.
Honest work.
It is at that.
Certainly more favourable than the clientele you probably encountered on the job.
Well, it wouldn't do well to speak ill of my employers.
I was referring to the brigands.
Well, they were less problematic than my employers. How about yourself?
I've been part of a investigatory team, just having a look for illegal activities in the area.
Such as what? Dogs paddling in the docks, or
mostly heretics.
so dogs paddling in the docks. So, what constitutes a heretic?
This instance you're referring to.
Can I say I spent some time with a child, and she had some less than favourable things to say.
I'm sure you've seen she stands out in a crowd a little bit. Quite a character, and on the docks she did look quite suspicious. Drawing pictures of fish.
Yes, you do.
But no, we were here investigating, and my colleagues, unfortunately, are no longer free citizens.
And what happened to your colleagues?
Still trying to put the pieces together on that one. I think there may have been some foul play involved locally, so I'm hoping that maybe if we do Dionysus's task well, I can ask for some kind of an explanation as to what's been happening.
Oh, so you feel Dionysus himself has taken your colleague?
Oh no, nothing of the sort. But I'm certain that some of the officials in Thebes are less reputable than others.
Well, this is Thebes.
Oh yes. Still, it's definitely as entertaining as I was told about.
You know what? Given how entertaining you have been so far, I feel that I should extend an offer of aid, should you need it.
I appreciate it, and obviously if you require any assistance or anything,
all I require is a target.
Or assist you. A target?
Yeah, something to hit.
Perhaps when we're in less peril we could spar.
Yes.
And on that testosterone-throwing bonding session, Mercy and Alma, you make your way out the bathhouse. I take it, are you going the same way you came in?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you make your way out, and standing outside the bathhouse is what looks like a human man, quite well dressed. He has a purple toga with what looks like light gold kind of trim to it, and he's standing there with a smile on his face as you walk out. Hello.
Oh, look at you, all fancy and smirky. What's going on?
Hi.
I was about to ask you the same thing. You seem to have been busy since Dionysus gave you the order.
Oh, right. So, who are you?
Oh, sorry. Rude of me. I am Isidore. I am part
You're
of...
who?
Isidore. That is Isadore.
Isadora.
Yes, I am part of Dionysus' council. He asked me to keep an eye on your progress as you...
Oh, well, that's very magnanimous of him.
Well, he's a very busy being, and no offense, but you are strangers in Thebes, and you had already caused somewhat of a stir, so he wasn't exactly going to leave you to your own devices.
Oh, right. So well, I can't speak for the little one, but I was here bringing his lordship a gift from my temple in Attica. So I was definitely here on specific business. So, to say that we caused an incident is a little bit far-fetched. We dispatched weird things in his presence that seemingly nobody happened to spot or whatever. Yeah, okay. And now we're to blame. Yeah. Thanks very much. And now we're cleaning up your mess as well. Please.
Well, if you're displeased, I was here to congratulate you. But if you'd like me to take back a message of your perturbation, I can always tell Dionysus of this.
You can do whatever you want, my dear. We are still doing his work for him.
I believe what Mercy might be trying to say is something along the lines of take everything she's saying, paint it in a good way so we don't get slaughtered.
Oh, you wouldn't be slaughtered, dear, not by me. The Maenads would take care of that just fine if Dionysus so wished. As it is, though, he seems to have taken some sort of shine to you, as all of you still have all your limbs. I can only assume that's because you have the child with you. He does have a soft spot for the little ones. So, before we can insult each other any further, how goes the task you were given?
So far, so terrible.
Go on.
Well, okay, so the long and short of it is, the people, how can I? The things that were dead seemingly may have sprung from this place. Yeah, not entirely sure how yet. We haven't quite figured that out yet, but this is where the clues led us. Slaves that were procured somehow ended up being slightly altered with while they worked here at this place for a few days, and then seemingly they were then possibly hired for the Agora, and then something happened. They killed other servants. I'm not sure, or they killed the guards, took their places for whatever reason. Still haven't quite figured that out either.
Like guards and pretending to be guards, and then, well, you kind of probably saw what happened.
Yes.
Exactly. And then we found this place, found it to be boarded up, heard that it had not been open for a few days. So we came through this entrance to try not to arouse too much suspicion. Found the place to be very dark and gloomy and very devoid of any sort of real life. We then found the main bath chamber, in which there was a lady summoning a creature. She was claiming to resurrect her beloved or something and wanting him to be with her or her to be with him. It was all kind of weird. It was all spoken in Infernal. I'm still a little bit
A resurrection,
rusty.
you say?
Yeah. But the thing that came out of the pools was a
Big old spider.
But not a normal looking spider. It seemed very janky and quite unnatural. Possibly an undead variant, maybe, given the theme of what's been going on. Pardon me.
And then she nearly died, and then the Minotaur nearly died, but I saved the Minotaur. The spider is dead, and there's 2 guys staying inside here.
And we're trying to we're trying to just continue the mission, as it were. We're trying to assess the clues, find out who this person might be. I'm going to briefly show him the book and say, look, she had this. It's kind of illegible. I'm not sure if it's in a language that I can actually transcribe myself. I haven't fully sat down to look at it. Plus, there were some other items that we would like to have checked out to see if there are any value or intrinsic magical properties. And at some point, we would like to continue the investigation, but as the little one has just said, some of us nearly died, and we would very much like to have a concerted rest before we press on with the investigation any further.
I understand. And you say there are no survivors. This woman, she's definitely dead.
Well, the spider came out of the water, impaled her on one of its legs, and then in the throes of the spider's inevitable death, she seemed to pass at the same time.
I see. In that case, if you don't mind, for now, I could take the book and have it looked at to see if it collaborates your story. Whilst you rest, we're happy to put you up somewhere, as we may have more questions if what you say doesn't match up with what has happened.
Well, what I would say is, thank you very much for the offer of respite. Oh, sorry, Amma, carry on.
We would quite like to have a look at the book ourselves, if that's okay. But
yes.
To corroborate the fact that we murdered a giant spider, I ripped out one of its fangs. You can take that as evidence that we're doing well.
Well, I have no doubt whether you killed a spider. That's not what I'm clarifying. It's just everything you said about what caused it and what happened. It'd be good to have some evidence to back that up. Not that we don't trust you, but I'm afraid we don't trust you.
Well, would it be okay? Well, would it be okay if at least we came with you to have the book looked at?
Or we could have the book for the night and then give it to you in the morning.
How about this? If we take the book for now, we can't really let you go anywhere yet. So once we're done with it, as long as there's nothing untoward or dangerous in it, you can have it back before you leave.
Take the deal.
That's not too bad. But what I would say as one tiny proviso, you get some people to watch this place just in case, because the waters in the pools were kind of like portals. So we're not quite sure how far the water goes, and we would very much like, while we're resting, to not, leave this place unattended.
Okay, give me a moment. It kind of closes his eyes, starts whispering, and you can see sort of a sheen comes over his eyes as he's whispering. And after about a minute and a half, he opens his eyes again. So, okay, arrangements have been made. You and your companions will be put up in one of the houses that's meant to be for dignitaries visiting, but under the circumstances, it's probably one of the best places to keep you for now. You'll be fed, given beds. There will be guards.
Thank you very much. You appreciate it.
There will be guards at your door, you understand. In the meantime, I believe that Ares' troops are on their way, so they will be coming to guard the bathhouse.
Well, we'll be trying to push on as quickly as possible.
Okay, I understand, but for now, you're under our watch until we can confirm
what
you've said. So yes, if you want to go...
That's fine. One quick question.
Go on.
Who might we approach to maybe have some items looked at for any particular value / potential magical usage?
I can look at a couple of them. My power is limited. as you have been doing as a favour, I believe there was a reward offered, so I don't mind having a look at a couple of those items.
In which case, I will bring out the two ones in the bag.
Well, I can have a look at two of them. My magic only goes so far.
Okay, well, the bag and one of the one.
Okay. Takes a look at the one, kind of inspects it, waves his hand over it, says a few arcane words in a whisper. Oh. Ironic. You say you fought a spider?
Yes.
Yes. This is a wand of webbing.
How interesting.
Oh, yes, it requires an attunement by someone that is already able to cast spells, but if you do so, you can shoot webbing similar to that of the bigger spider beast yourselves. The bag... and again, he takes the bag, has a look over it, opens it, and after finishing some arcane words, he kind of lets out a little chuckle. Oh, I haven't seen these in a long time. They're curious little pieces. I take it you haven't opened it yet?
Nope.
Okay, well, he opens the sack and he reaches in his hand and he pulls out what looks like a brown pom-pom, maybe? Like a ball of fluff from the bag.
Okay.
And he rolls it across the floor and the pom-pom kind of shudders, squeaks, and then turns into a rat and then runs away. That is a literal bag of tricks you have there. The brown one, yeah. Whatever you pull out of there will turn into a little rat, and I'm sure it has its uses. They're mainly used for pranks, to be honest. A lot of the bards of Delphi seem to like them.
Dibs on the rat bag.
Who's the rat bag?
I think you can have you can have the wand as well, dear.
Cool, thank you.
Okay, so yeah, so feel free to look them up later, but if you for now write down Wand of Web...
I've got it written down, I'll pass it on to you after the game.
Yep, so Wand of Web and Bag of Tricks.
Bag of Tricks. Cool. Well, who might we approach to have the other items we found looked at?
Well,
and would they be agreeable on prices?
I was going to say, for the most part, my magic in that extent is spent for the day, but there are some places around Thebes that specialise in magical items and things like that. Thebes itself is quite a magically proficient city, so you shouldn't have to look too far. They will charge a fee.
Okay.
But it is definitely something that they would be able to take a look at.
Well, it's certainly a start. Thank you very much. Yes?
Can I suggest we go rest before you go get something value?
Can we what?
Can we go rest before you get something value?
Well, that was the idea, dear.
Good.
But I think we should go get the menfolk.
Nah, they can find their own way. I want to go.
Well, no, if you want to go and get your fellows, like I said, we do have to keep you under watch until we can collaborate your story.
Well, tell you what. Well, just give me a moment. I'll go drag the men out by their mivonks.
Oh dear. Before you leave, the book.
Just treat it with a little bit more respect than you gave us, okay?
Well, the book has done nothing to irk me so far, so that should be doable.
What did I do?
I like him. He's fine.
We have ourselves a Sassoff.
Yeah, he takes the book from you and just slips it into his bag, and just waits with his arms crossed whilst you go and fetch the men.
With Alma and a dog, because I go back in.
Yeah, he doesn't really pay you much mind.
Right, so I'm going to head back inside.
Yep. You go and find the other two who are probably either arm wrestling or like comparing each other's biceps or something. I don't know, something manly.
As long as you're not comparing literal dick sizes, I don't care.
Not with a
You wish.
No, that's not. But no, stop it.
I'm hung like a bull.
You're full of bull.
That too.
No, I'm not going there. No, you're not going to make me go there.
See.
I'm horny.
God, jeez.
Shut up, bitch.
Okay.
Anyway, my eye's slightly twitching. Dionysus has sent one of his minions to check up on us, and delightful little asshole. I think his name was Wizardora. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, I have arranged for us to have lodgings for the night so we can be properly rested. This place will be properly guarded overnight, and we will be alerted should anything occur within these 4 walls. A couple of the items that I found have already been identified, and apparently there are places around where we can get the other stuff maybe looked at. The little one has a couple of brand new trinkets to play with, which I think will keep her happy for a little while. So I would suggest that we take Dionysus up on his semi-generous offer and be well prepared for the next step of our investigation, because I've got a funny feeling we're not done with this place, are we?
Safely say we are not.
Well, forgive me for not leaping for joy. I did get bitten by a fecking spider.
The only one you're special.
Oh, trust me, we're all special, dear.
Well,
But you did. Let's put it this way: you are special, but you kind of fall within a bell curve.
shall we make our way out then? If we don't have to stay here.
It would behoove us to do so.
Oh, behoove! I know all about that.
Mercy.
Hmm?
Thank you very much for making the arrangements, Mercy.
Well, I wasn't about to let you go sit here and get wet rot in your flipping armor. I mean, I know you're a fish out of water, but diving in and out of random pools is a little bit weird.
I don't know, this spider here can make quite a nice beanbag.
Let's get going.
Yeah. We can only take so many puns in one session.
No, you can take them all.
Before we actually lose subscribers. Yeah, you make.
Oh, come on! Oh, come on! They come for the game, stay for the puns.
No, I'd check, but I don't want to. It'll upset me. So you guys, yeah, you make your way out. And Isadora is still.
Someone in the chat just went, yup.
Stood there, just again hasn't said an entire word while he's been waiting with you, Alma. I take it this is.
I've got a dog to keep me entertained. I'm fine.
I take it these are the two you were talking about.
Mercy.
Yes, Wizardora. This is Gaviscon, and this is sirloin of beef.
Charmed, I'm sure. Right, if you'd like to come this way, I do have other matters to take care of, and I have to update people on the situation fully.
Picking a master out of a bush, no doubt, yes.
Whilst you may be in favour in your temple, my dear, a friendly word of caution. Whilst you may throw insults at me, the god of madness is not so forgiving on these matters. And he starts walking off.
Horses for courses.
Yep, so I think you guys follow him.
Yeah.
He leads you, it's quite a way away.
Yeah.
You walk past, again, it's quite late now, even for the party, some of the parties are starting to die down. There's still a lot of music playing, and you can see there's been braziers lit occasionally throughout the streets, where people are talking, and there's not so much dancing and things anymore, but people are have settled down with quiet conversations, and there's the occasional person playing a lyre or pan flute, or something like that, or telling a story with a crowd of people around them. And he leads you past all these people through the streets, and the streets start to get quieter, and he leads you to a part of town you haven't really been to before. It's towards the main entrance to Thebes. And veers off, and you can start to see more military buildings. It's definitely upscale, but you start to see a lot more military presence. You think you may have starting to go towards the rich district of Thebes. Will all of you... actually, no, Gavriel, will you please make a perception check for me? Eight. Okay. You look around, and as you're walking, you're just, you're not really paying much attention to people. It's more like the surrounding itself. There's so much hustle and bustle in the city. It's very different to where you've been before, especially for a festival like this. And for a very short second, you think you spy Fasali. You do a double take almost, but then you look again. It's just guards watching a bunch of people that seem to be a little bit too inebriated that are keeping an eye on. But for a very split second, it did seem like Fasali was there. And Isidore leads you all on, and past the guard's presence becomes more sparse, but the richness of the town still remains. And you're led through quite a big plaza. It's kind of like an open cul-de-sac of stone. In the middle of the huge cul-de-sac is a mosaic of what looks like a depiction of Dionysus and two women dancing beside him. It's like what you'd see on one of the classic vases, but it's in a huge square. And then surrounding the cul-de-sac is several identical and ornate-looking buildings, and he leads you to one just to the far left. So this, for now, will be where you'll be staying. As I say, guards will be posted, so please don't leave. If there is anything you need, ask, and it will be brought to you within reason. By morning, someone will come and either confirm your story or want to bring you in for possible more questioning. Until then, please try and stay out of trouble. And with a very reluctant bow, he turns his back to you and leaves you to your own, and the guards kind of move aside to gesture you inside the building.
Just want to
Bye, Isidore.
call to him before he walks away and try and step aside to have a quick word.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't... Gaviscon, was it?
Sorry, Gabriel. I do
Gabriel.
apologise for Mercy. I hope you understand that we've all kind of been thrown together, and Mercy doesn't speak for the rest of us, who are quite happy to be here in Dionysus' beautiful Thebes.
I will bear it in mind in case anything said does get back to to Dionysus. Hopefully there wouldn't be too much collateral. Was that it? Did you just want to apologise for her rudeness, or?
I just wanted to apologise for her rudeness. It was inappropriate, and I thank you for your patience.
Well, and thank you. You're one of Poseidon's, I see.
I am.
Okay, well, your deity has obviously taught you respect, unlike others. I wish you good luck. And he kind of,
Sorry to take it.
as he says, wish you good luck, he kind of side-eyes Mercy again. And then nods at you and he's on his way. So yeah, so do you, like I say, the guards lead you in. As you walk into this place, again, it is very grand. There's a similar kind of mosaic pattern on the floor. There's no actual depiction on there, but it's almost like a grand kind of entrance hall with stairs on either side that lead up to a balcony and what looks like a few more rooms. And there's vases and urns spread all around, and there's flowers. And at the bottom of each set of stairs, again, there is a guard in Theban armour, shield and spear by their side, stood to attention. Not saying anything, not even looking at you, but just stood there at the base of each stairs. Yeah, it's very well guarded.
Dibs on best room. I'm gonna try and so they're at the base of the stairs. Can I get up?
Yeah, they let you past. They don't pay you any mind as you run past. It seems again they're there to keep the peace, not prevent people from walking past or anything.
Cool.
I try to find a bed.
Surprisingly, you do find one. Like all of the beds are sizable. Again, like Mercy, you remember Isadora said these were meant for visiting dignitaries. And those of you that you've heard of Dionysus as you've been in Thebes, and he likes to show off, as it were. So showing that kind of courtesy and that kind of grandeur to guests is something that Thebans do. Yeah. So yeah, do you each go to your respective rooms?
Yeah,
Once
buddy.
I've established where I'm going, I'll take a moment, sit in the common space, sort out my equipment, repair any potential damage that occurred to my Sparta during the...
Yeah, there are a few dings in there, but it's nothing you haven't dealt with before. You can work those out fine. The thing about bronze is it damages easily, but it tends to be easy to fix as well because of that. It's a lot more malleable than other metals.
I just work on sort of honing a useful edge.
Okay. Does anybody want to do anything before they take a rest and go to sleep for the night, or is everybody? Yeah.
Basically, just gonna go. Birch is best boy, and then just starfish and dog on top of me and sleep.
Yep, fair.
There is one thing I would like to do.
Yep.
Well, first I'm going to barricade my door.
Okay.
I'm going to just jam my shield.
To get you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll jam my shield underneath the door and whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to kneel by the bed, take the mace, sort of like half cradle it, so I'm looking at the face, and I'm just going to just quietly just say, "Why did you send me here?
Okay.
What's the meaning of all this? Did you know this was going to happen? Why are you testing me? Why are you sending me with all these stupid people? This is better not be some elaborate prank, because when I get home, I know you gave me this mace, and I know it's sentimental to you, but I wish I knew why you picked me. Of all the people, why me? I'm nobody. I'm nothing. Why? Just.
Okay. Would you make a religion check for me, please?
Oh, okay. Oops.
Choose favor of the gods.
I have triggered instant death. Oh shit.
You were
you know what? I think. You know what? I think I will use my favor for this. Actually.
Okay.
Why the heck not? It seems appropriate.
Yeah, totally.
20 not natural.
Oh wow. Oh, okay. So you say this and you kind of to the shield, but like trying to project this to whoever's listening, to your deity, to whoever's out there, and you say this, and so yeah, so for now that's all that happens. As you all take a long rest,
Can I take guard?
yeah, sure. Like I say, you can take guard in between, and you can take some time to do that. So as
I was quite rested after sitting on the spider, so I'll just stand guard the whole night.
So okay, so you're just going to stand guard. You're not going to take the long rest. Okay, fair enough.
Oh shit.
As that happens, Alma, throughout the night, you wake up with a start.
Okay.
Okay. You look, and you feel really, you know, a little bit flush. So you move over to, there's a basin set in the corner with water in it. So you make your way over to try and take a drink, like sort yourself out. And you walk over to the pool of water, and you look in it, and you can see that Birch's reflection shines back, and he's obviously followed you or something. And you go to move your hands to take a drink, and you realise you don't actually have hands. You look down, and instead of hands, you see these little paws. And you look in the water basin again, and you can see it's not Birch that you're looking at, it's you. But the you looking back at you, it has your eyes, but it's a dog. It's like similar to Birch, similar marking, same breed, but different colouring. There's grey flecks rather than the brown. And yeah, so you look around, and basically you have experienced your first wild shape. Okay, so for everybody that took a long rest, sorry, Runt, you've leveled up.
It's fine. Oh, fuck.
So we have a baby Minotaur now.
Yeah,
I can still kick your ass.
Yeah.
So Alma, Gavriel, and Mercy, if you want to take a few minutes, you are now level 2.
Yay.
Runt, I'm afraid you didn't take the rest, so instead, can you make me a Constitution saving throw?
Oh, what?
Because if
Yes,
you don't,
bitch.
Shit got real. That somehow landed on a fucking corner. That'll be a 12.
12? Okay, you don't take a level of exhaustion.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, if you're not going to sleep all night, you have to roll to see if you end up exhausted.
Yeah.
But at 12, that's fine. It'll get harder the more nights you do that. But for now, just being level 1 is punishment enough, apparently.
Out of character, I know. Believe me.
So I think most of you guys have kind of planned what, if anything, you have to do with your second level.
The only thing I need to do is pick an extra spell.
Okay. If you also want to roll while we're on camera, did you want to roll hit dice?
Yep, I rolled a 7, so that's a 9 total for me.
Okay.
Oh, what do I do?
So whatever your
Just
hit
roll
dice
whatever
are,
it says for your...
Should take the rest.
1d8. Got it. Where's my d8? That's not a d8, that's a d10. That's d8.
In the chat to bless our dice rolls. Are we allowed to ask deities in the chat to bless our dice rolls?
you can ask them, but that does not mean
Please bless my hit dice.
We'll wait for that reply. So yeah, so what did you roll, Alma?
So the hit dice, so it says 1d8, so I rolled a d8 and I got a 7.
Okay, so do you have a Constitution modifier at all?
Let me check. +2.
Okay, so add 9 to
9.
your max hit points.
Add 9 to my max hit points.
Yeah, so hit
That
points.
was easy.
Yeah, as your hit points, so another 7. Do you have a con modifier?
I got a 5.
Oh, you got a 5 plus.
But then my con mod is 2.
Oh, so plus 7 hit points to your max hit points. Okay. So yeah, when
I'm
you...
now the weakest member of the party.
So yeah, for those
I
of you
just
that...
turned into a dog.
Okay, guys.
Acknowledge
For those
this
of you
phrase.
that might not know at home, whenever you level up, obviously each class might get different things, whether that's another attack or another ability, more spells, things like that. That's entirely
Oh, I get to
dependent
pick my
on your
circle
class. Also, you roll your hit dice each time to see by how much your hit points increase. And that depends on what you roll in your hit dice plus your con modifier. And that adds up to your total hit points. So yeah, we'll just give them a few minutes to do that.
Does my druid circle have anything to do with level 2?
Yep, you pick your circle at level 2. I believe you would choose Moon Circle.
Yep.
Yep, so yeah, your Circle of the Moon.
The only thing... Well, I'll just pick a spell in a second, but I unlock my channel divinities.
Yes. Well, in terms of cleric spells, don't you choose them at the beginning of each morning anyway? So.
Yeah, I can basically prepare anything I want, but I'm just trying to decide what I'm going to keep or swap.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Oh, bugger.
Does anybody want me to pick anything specific?
I'm
I'm just trying
gonna.
to
Makes you
find...
happy.
Yeah, I'm gonna veto that just because the other guys don't know what you have at your availability, so that's a little bit.
Oh,
meta.
that's true.
Yeah, that's a little bit
true.
meta.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Right, just on the basis that I can't currently find my table, really annoying me. Do I? Is it I gain an extra spell slot or I gain an extra thing prep? I can't remember off the top of my head.
You should. Hang on. I'll have a look now.
Yeah, because I can't find the page and it's really bugging me.
You also, yeah, you do get an extra slot for your first as well.
Sweet.
And it should
I can
affect
only
your...
extra spell slot, but I can still only prep for level 1s, isn't it?
Well, it's 4 in... Yeah, because it's your...
It's basically level plus your modifier now, spells.
So you can get 1
5
more.
then.
Yeah. Okay. So, Gabriel, are you all sorted? I think you just choose a stance, don't you? Or a fighting style at level 2.
I get to choose a stance, and I get standard smite ability.
Always
and
good.
I get spells.
Nice. So yeah, and people might not get one-shot as much at level 2, which is always nice.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, true. Alma's the only one that hasn't been floored.
She's still king of the hill,
Yeah.
so obviously doing something right.
We'll have
I'm
to
a lover
fix
and
that,
not
I'm
a
sure.
fighter. Hey, there we go.
13, that sounds wrong.
What?
Gabriel?
Whoa, now.
Okay, yeah, let's stop that talk in the chat now, guys. Okay, so is everybody ready? Is everybody sorted with what they need to do?
Yeah, I'm good.
2 cantrips, 3 level 1 spells,
Okay. So
plus 2, so 5. Yep.
you all awake to a knock at your respective doors.
Am I still a dog at this point?
No, it only lasts like an hour, I believe. So no, you're
Yeah.
you again.
Thank God.
I've done this with a eyes first.
Okay. Again, while you're messing about, there's another quite a urgent knock at the door.
Be wearing clothes.
Go and open it.
Okay. So there is one of the Theban guards. It's like, hello, we're to escort you to the militant quarters. Ares fighters have arrived, and one of them wants to speak to you.
Shit.
Bring our equipment with
Right, I'll gather the rest of the group.
Yes.
Okay.
So I run back inside, like gather everyone together, go like, right, we're going to go meet with some of the Ares folk.
Excellent. I assume we can bring all our armor and weapons with us.
Yes, just don't have them drawn, please.
Yeah, keep them sheathed, but by all means, keep them ready.
Okay, so yeah, you're escorted by a team of about 6 Theban guards. They don't seem hostile towards you, but they're just making sure that you don't try anything. It seems. You walk again back towards the way you came to the district, and the main barracks that you saw. You're led there, and it seems a lot more populated right now. And you see Isadora currently arguing with what looks like a Spartan. And the armor's very different. They've got the classic plumed helmet, and they seem to be currently arguing with each other, not noticing you arrive.
Do I recognise the Spartan?
You roll me a history check.
That's nat 20.
Nat 20. You recognise him, yeah. He's Thaddeus. He seems to have got a promotion since you last saw him. He was just a grunt, really, just a foot soldier. He seems to be bearing the heraldry of some sort of sergeant or commander right now.
Shit.
But you do remember that you had fought a couple of battles with him. Nothing. You weren't close, but you remember him, especially on that roll.
Okay. I go over and interject and greet him. Why not? Let's get this shit out of the way.
No, it doesn't matter what's happening. We're taking them. That's how things are done. Oh, Runt.
Alias.
Not gonna lie, I thought you were dead.
If wishes were horses and all that.
Did I hear this?
Everybody heard this, yeah.
He nearly was.
Yeah, he nearly has been quite a few times, kiddo.
Yeah, despite your best efforts.
Well, somebody had to
Sign of
watch
a
it
good
back.
warrior is clearly being dead.
True. So, I see you have a promotion.
Yeah, well, a lot's been happening since you left. Things are a lot more strict. Yeah, take it you heard about Athena?
No, by all means, tell me what happened with Athena.
Well, she's missing, isn't she?
I had heard that much. I wasn't sure if you knew of any details that perhaps
No,
hadn't
we're
reached
not.
the public ear.
We're not told much. The mortals are kindly kept out of the loop, but ever since then, Ares has been busy sending us off to Thebes, Attica, looking everywhere, basically sucking up to the rest of the country to try and make amends for whatever it was that happened. That's why
Can
we're here.
I grab sort of Thalius by the shoulder and like jovially drag him out of earshot of the others.
Yeah, that's fine. It wouldn't normally be allowed, but you're a big guy and he knows you. So he doesn't put up much resistance of... Yeah, no, you're alright.
Right, so I get him. So, what's the latest from Sparta? What's the atmosphere? What's happening?
Tense. Like I said, since Athena went missing, there's been no real fighting, there's been no real battles. We're just babysitting and, like, running errands. We're not Spartans right now, we're daft with spears. Everyone's tense. It's not what Spartans are about.
You and I both know it's tend to fly through ranks. Has there been any word as to what might be happening in the higher ranks?
Make a persuasion check for me.
Okay, I don't have a negative modifier. That is a 13.
13. Well, they're just as tense as everyone else. Ariston's as on guard as ever. He hasn't been much different than the rest of us. He keeps us in check. Not sure what you're asking for, to be honest.
About that, what about Titus?
No, again, we're all just tense. We're not doing what we're meant to be doing.
Ours is not to question why.
I hear that. Anyway, what are you doing here? What are you all... I see you've picked up something.
I seem to have picked up some strays
Yeah.
somewhere along the way. Managed to get myself involved in some trouble with Dionysus.
Yeah. You, from what I remember, you were 1-4 picking up trouble. It didn't really matter who with, did it?
I like to be on the winning side of said trouble.
Well, it doesn't look like you're on the winning side at the minute.
No, it certainly doesn't feel that way.
So, why are you here? Why are you being dragged here by the Theban weaklings?
Something is wrong. This city.
I could have told you that first coming in here. Way too much dancing.
Well, they are somewhat lackadaisical.
There's one word for it. So, are you involved in what happened at the opening?
Yes, I was at the Agora.
Oh man,
We
yeah,
appear to have undead roaming the city.
yeah. That's not gonna lie. That's got us all shaken up. That's normally taken care of. It's not seen in the major cities.
And obviously, Ares has seen fit to send in a peacekeeping force. I mean, how many of you are there?
Oh, we're not a peacekeeping force. We're here to escort prisoners back to Sparta. Again, we're basically glorified escorts and babysitters at this point.
You don't mean to say that I'm...
Well, from what I've heard, you're barely a Spartan, but no, you're not a prisoner. No, it's just the barracks here are full. We come and collect them occasionally and take them back to Sparta to work at the camps and masons and quarries. Just a routine visit.
As you're here, perhaps, should the need arise, lend aid to a former comrade in arms.
What was that bit? Sorry.
Perhaps, as you're here, you could, if the need arises, you could lend aid to a former comrade in arms.
Would if I could, but we are about to leave. Like I say, we've already packed up the prisoners. We've got some interesting types, especially with the festival. A priest, of all things. And us and a few of the Theban lot escorting them back to Sparta within the hour, I'm afraid.
A priest, you say?
Yeah, got himself arrested. Don't know what he did. Not my job to ask, but we're taking him to Sparta, and we'll see how much his prayer helps when he's lifting bricks.
We all know that the one true god is Ares, anyway.
Yeah, the one that matters.
Of course.
And he slaps you on the shoulder, and he goes, "Right, Isidore, we're moving out. You can take this up with someone that actually gives a shit if you like, but we've got a job to do." And he whistles, and the Spartans start to pack up and lead one last contingency of prisoners onto an ox-drawn chariot. They're all chained together. Gavriel, you did spot who you think you spotted. And they're being led onto the chariot. He kind of gets into the chariot, whistles again, and they start to make their way out of Thebes with the prisoners. Isidore turns to you and says, "Oh, I'm sorry about that. The brutes turned up a lot earlier than we thought they would." He's addressing...
Let's toss a twitch.
Sorry. He's addressing Gavriel, by the way. So they turned up a lot sooner than we thought, and we had to deal with them wanting to stick their noses in.
I assume that you had a lot of people reveling a little too hard.
Yeah.
This is why you have an abundance of prisoners.
Well, yes and no. We don't tend to keep them for long. We usually just keep them in overnight unless they've done some slight to someone that's important enough to get them into more trouble.
Oh, I see. If they've upset local nobles or officials.
Yes, without speaking too out of turn, if you step out of line in the higher-ups, then all sorts of things can be accused of, and you can find yourself in all sorts of trouble, as I warned your interesting friend.
It's worth noting. Thank you for the warning.
That's no trouble at all. But no, the main lot of prisoners have actually committed crimes. We don't tend to crowd our prisons with people that have had too much of a good time. That'd be very much out of keeping with our patron now, wouldn't it?
No, of course. Just those who are excessively rude or hazardous to everyone else as well.
Yes, all have committed some actual crime to Thebes. We're a political justice-bound city as any other.
Side-eye mercy.
Yes, we managed to take a look at the book, and it does seem that everything's to order. So thank you for that. I was actually asked to give you a proper reward, and he hands you, Gavriel, a coin purse, basically. Feel free to get your friend to buy themselves a new attitude with it.
I didn't do anything!
Sadly, I'm afraid Dionysus has decided that your investigation into the matter ceases here. From what you've found, the rest he's going to look into personally, as I know it. But he thanks you for your service, and he assures you that there is no ill will for the commotion at the festival opening in the Agora. You are free to wander around and leave the city as you see fit.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Isidore.
Quite. Unless you have any more questions or need anything else from me, again, I have the Spartans' mess to clear up. We weren't expecting them so soon, and Dionysus will want a report.
One question before you...
Go on.
Who was the priest the Spartans were taking away?
I'm afraid we can't really give away that sort of information, can we?
No, like, sort of flash, like the leftovers of my Spartan uniform that I still keep on me. Just see whether that persuades him.
Roll a persuasion check at disadvantage, because he just had to deal with a bunch of Spartans and he wasn't happy about it.
That's fair. I mean, we're all a little pissed off after dealing with Spartans. 14 or 11.
As I said, I can't really give away that information. You're not a member of the guard. You're not anyone. You're not even a Theban, as I can quite clearly see. So you can put your pecs away. Anything people want to actually ask me that I can answer? No? Good. Okay, as I said, explore the city as you will. Enjoy the rest of the festival. Try not to get into any more trouble, and I hope I don't have to run into you again for good reasons, I assure you. And he goes back to start yelling at some of the Theban guards as he goes.
Looking at him, it actually gives credence as to why some animals eat their young.
Runt, perhaps we could just catch up on something.
I think that might be wise.
If you don't mind, we'll just give ourselves a little bit of space.
Ladies, if you would excuse us.
Whatever.
Taking a few steps away and making sure we're definitely well out of earshot. That priest. He's my priest.
Your priest.
Yeah.
You may have to
You remember I said
extrapolate.
my colleagues were detained. I get the feeling they've upset some local nobility and had some trumped up charges thrown against them.
Well, if they're being escorted out of the city by Spartans, I feel that's probably a safe bet.
Yes. I'm thinking I will probably be heading to Sparta and try to find out what they've been charged with and seeing if we can get them cleared. Are you interested in coming to Sparta as well?
I have no desire to go to Sparta, but as we've shed blood together, I feel duty bound to escort you. It may be that my presence can be of some assistance, but I would advise you that it may be that I'm a hindrance as well.
Well, I'm sure your local knowledge and company would be greatly appreciated. I don't think this is going to go the way I want it to.
I can guarantee that it won't. This is Sparta. We have a different way of doing things.
He said it. He said this is Sparta.
Yeah.
I got it in!
You did.
I got it in!
Well done. Okay, whilst they are speaking, and Alma's, paying more attention to Birch, Mercy, you are kind of stood there for a second, giving side eye to Isidore, when something hits you in your head, and you are knocked to your knees. And you close your eyes from the intensity of it, and you see a view from the clouds. You see, looking down over Elysium, over Thebes, and you see seeds being carried by the wind.
I see what?
Seeds.
Leaves.
Seeds.
No.
Seeds. Seeds.
S-E-E-D-S. Seeds.
Seeds.
Yes.
Right.
Being carried through the wind, and you hear a soft voice as you see this. Each contains the potential of life. Some land on soft ground and are tended. Some may land among the rocks. As you see that, the perspective shifts and to the inside of the seas, in darkness, and you can see a light start to emit, and the voice starts again. As the seed grows and reaches out, it doesn't choose which direction it ends up, and you see it comes out of the side of a cliff face. The only thing it can choose is which direction it then takes, and you see it as it starts to grow up towards the sky again. And then the vision fades, and you find you're on your knees again.
Did I see that?
You saw him. You saw her drop to her knees. Yes.
Can I kneel down in front of her and be like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't recall that ever happening before. That's very new, very weird, and very. Yeah. Okay.
As you
You know. Excuse me.
as you are dealing with this, and you guys finish your conversation, you look, and there's still a few Spartans leaving, and Gavriel, you notice walking out with the Spartans in full Spartan uniform, plumes and everything. Again, the same priest. In full Spartan uniform, you see... Sorry, I'm just finding the... Yeah, you see Fisali in full Spartan uniform. Make eye contact with you. Give a wry smile. And then walk away with the rest of the Spartans. Can you just show me the smile?
Might cuss out there, mate.
That's fine, it was mainly for Gavriel. And we'll leave it there. Thanks for joining, guys. I hope you enjoyed session 2. For everybody that stayed tuned, thank you very much. How did you guys find that? You still enjoying it so far? Enjoying the madness so far?
Always.
I gained a wand that shoots webs, a bag that produces rats, and turned into a dog. I'm having the best day.
And don't worry, I'm sure you will find... Next long rest run, you will level up. It's just... That's why I asked about 4 times if you were sure you didn't want to take a long rest.
I was feeling quite healthy given the
yeah, that's fair.
state I was in after the short rest rather.
No, it makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Thanks you guys for tuning in. Quick reminder again. Tune in Sunday. We'll have another episode of Druid for you. In a couple of weeks, on Tuesday, we will be having the Match of the Deity session. We will be discussing this episode with whichever Olympians are available. Before the next episode on Wednesday. Before then, if you want to find out what the gods were doing whilst these guys were doing their thing, again, feel free to sign up to the Patreon. It's patreon.com/Reign of Olympus, and you can keep up to date with that. This episode will also be on there in the form of podcasts, hopefully by the end of the week. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and have a good weekend. And just remember, the gods are watching.